police officials to have the confiscated drugs stored at an unsafe facility so they could be stolen. In his affidavits to the Madlaga Commission, Hawks Commander Gavin Jacob says no police station near Isipingo, Durban was willing to store the large consignment of drugs. However, under cross-examination, Jacob conceded that he never called the police stations to check if they had storage capacity. Jacob says it was his superior, Brigadier Campbell Newswa, who suggested that the drugs must be transported more than 100 kilometers to the Port Shepstone Hawks offices.
To me, I was satisfied. If exhibits were kept there previously, I would have expected that facility to be one that complies with all of the specifications that a storage location should have. But I didn't do any due diligence from my side, I must admit, sir.
Several witnesses have also told the Madlaga Commission that the Port Shepstone office was not secure. However, Jacob says there was no criminal intent in his decision to send him there. Thabiso Koba, Eyewitness News.
Western Cape Police have intensified a corruption investigation linked to a former City of Cape Town contractor. Cops have implemented fresh search and seizure operations at the Metro's offices. The investigation comes from a sting operation in which the company's owner was arrested after allegedly offering a large cash bribe to the city manager. The SAPS Commercial Crime Investigation Unit yesterday swooped on multiple properties and a City of Cape Town office as part of the ongoing investigation involving Triple C maintenance and services. Officers took 21 cell phones and 9 laptops for forensic analysis, along with other material believed to be linked to the case. The police's Andre Trout.
The investigation, which is being conducted jointly with the City of Cape Town, remains active, and the evidence gathered will assist detectives in pursuing all persons implicated in the matter.
And Kenyan President William Ruto says South Africa and Kenya have built a strong trade partnership in the last 32 years. Ruto made the remarks at the Union Buildings in Pretoria yesterday, where President Cyril Ramaphosa hosted him for a state visit. Kenya is South Africa's largest trading partner outside of the SADC region, with more than 11 billion rand flowing between the two countries each year. Ruto says Pretoria and Nairobi must continue to strengthen their trade ties in order to boost intercontinental trade.
Over 3 decades, we have built one of the most impactful partnerships on the continent, grounded in mutual respect, shared values, and a common vision for the prosperity of our people. That partnership was institutionalized through the Joint Commission for Cooperation in 2007.
President Ramaphosa has echoed the sentiments.
Our economic partnership is one of the most strategic pillars of our bilateral cooperation. Kenya remains South Africa's largest trading partner in East Africa, and it is also an important destination for South African investment on the continent.
Gold is trading at $4,447.57 an ounce. The rand is at 16.34 to the dollar, 21.94 to the pound, 18.98 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $95.42 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got roadworks taking place on the N3 South right near the Glulies interchange, causing delays. There's also queuing traffic along the N3 North approaching the Geldenhuys interchange. Please be on the lookout there.
And in your sport, Liverpool finally confirmed Andoni Areola's manager on a 2-year deal. Bafana's friendly with Jamaica scheduled for today has been moved to tomorrow behind closed doors. For the first time in Roland Garros history, a qualifier has made it to the final. Kwalinska will now play Andreeva. And Leinster named their strongest possible side to face the Stormers for tomorrow's URC semi-final.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng, Johannesburg, starting at 3 degrees, peaking at 14. Pretoria, 6 and 16. Vereniging, 4 and 13 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. 4 people have been killed in a collision between a truck and a bakkie in Ekurhuleni.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
We're calling on Joburg to walk the inner city with us. In 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
6 minutes after 6 o'clock, it is a Friday. And as always, of course, on our menu, we look at the week that was politically. The Kenyan president is in South Africa. Very different approaches in dealing with the United States of America, particularly under the current president, Donald Trump. William Ruto has all but bent backwards for the Trump administration. We know, of course, under Ramaphosa, South Africa has taken a particularly different line. We'll look at that issue. Liam Jacobs returning to the Democratic Alliance. And South Africa now on notice around the local government elections. The noise, the movements, changes are afoot. We don't talk enough about national orders, but the Order of Mapungubwe in gold is South Africa's highest civilian award. It's been a number of years since it was given to a living, breathing human being. Most often recipients get it posthumously. We are going to speak to the most recent living human being, Professor Tulio de Oliveira, who is advancing all kinds of breakthroughs and once again putting a spotlight on South African science and innovation, and particularly medicine. Here's our big interview. I joked with Thabo Shola Mashao that if I was ever to get hitched again, stupid enough to walk down the aisle, I would have our guest, who's coming into the studio just before 9, be the one to sing. The lovely Nomfundo Aluva will be with us. It's a Friday!
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
And because it is a Friday, I'm not alone, of course. As always, we've got a fantastic team behind the scenes putting the show together, and my colleagues in studio, Amuramila and Muteo Huaripe, who always on a Friday join me in doing this. It's a 1, it's a 2, it's a 1, 2, 3.
It's a Friday.
It's a Friday. It's a Friday. I've got a question for you too. Happy Friday. How finicky are you in the car? Most of us spend time alone in the car. It's one of those things that occurred to me one day, how much I'm never really with other people in the car. Yes, there can be trips where I'm taking my kids somewhere or whatever, but the vast majority of the time, I'm alone in the car. So how my seat is positioned must be a certain way, right? Certainly how my mirrors must be positioned is a certain way, because no one else drives the car. How my stations, my music is set is in a particular way. And when somebody else is in the car, maybe we're going on a long distance drive and they want to play their own music, or they want to drive and they want to change your mirror settings, or there's a lot of people in the car. The other day I had to fetch my daughter and a couple of her friends, and I was being the, drop-off parent. And there were quite a few of us in the car. And she's saying, can you move your seat forward? I'm like,
Did you have
I
reservations?
had to think as to, I didn't want to, quite clearly, but I had to think of a reason as to, I want to say no, but I'm assuming I'm going to have a clever reason as to why.
Got long legs.
And I can't drive properly if my seat moves. Well,
So you drive on the back seat?
I'm a tall man. I may not be as tall as Mateo. Although today I'm wearing my Croc boots, so,
You are
it could
as
be
tall,
iffy. It
yeah.
could be iffy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, for 5,000 Rand in fuel vouchers, when you hear the My Way song, and only when you hear the My Way song, we want to know from you, what is that one thing in your car you absolutely don't compromise on? Your seating position, it's got to stay the way you've set it, no matter how uncomfortable it may look to others or be for others. Your radio presets, no one is allowed to mess with your stations, your volume levels. The air conditioning, it's too cold, it's too hot. What is the one thing you absolutely will not compromise on in your car?
Does the eating count?
It could be that. I don't like people eating in my car. No. Pies.
What if it's the only time we can eat?
Look, if we're doing long distance, then I suppose all the rules go out of the window.
Juicy burgers
as far
and
as things like that are
sauces.
concerned.
Yeah.
But you're giving me a hate because I was thinking muffins, juicy burgers.
Yeah,
So,
Volts rolls.
guys. We've got 5,000 rand in fuel vouchers to give away, courtesy of My Way Insurance. And when we hear that song, I want to know from you, what is it that you absolutely will not compromise on? Send us a WhatsApp voice note on 072 702 1702.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
702 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
This awful news of this car crash in Ekurhuleni, 4 people killed in a collision between a truck and a bakkie. It happened on the R550 last the week. I think at one point we had highs of around 23 odd in Johannesburg and Vereeniging. Listen to this, Muteo and Amo. Joburg temperatures today will peak at a miserable 14 degrees. Your high in Pretoria, 16, 13 in Vereeniging. Cape Town, much the same story. High of 18 degrees. Mahikeng peaks at 5. Mahikeng is at 5. Gqeberha, 16 is London, 18 Durban, now a lovely 22.
EWN Traffic.
20 after 6, a first look at those roads. Amo?
We start in Melrose, Bongani, with an accident right along the Mark 1 North that happened after Caller Drive, causing delays. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 South. This is between the Linksfield Road exit and the Kalulis interchange. Long-term roadworks are taking place along this route. If you're traveling out of Centurion, do you expect delays on the N1 South? This is between the Bergfontein interchange and Samrin Avenue. This is due to an accident scene. I'll have more updates, but if you come across anything else, we're on X at EWN Traffic.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Happy Friday, Bongal 702 lenders. My word, at the funerals, guys, cell phones. For me, I'm very old-fashioned. So let's respect the dead. You would be standing there by the graveyard. Someone will be whispering on the phone, recording some voice note, or someone is busy capturing the moment when people are crying. I mean, what is that? I just feel we lost that, that respect. For me, that, even if the person is not that close to me, I just feel, can we leave the cell phones by the gate and we'll get them when we leave? If it has to be like that, because people cannot manage mobile cell phones. Thanks, guys, for a great show. Shadi, Kempton Park.
Hi, Bongani. Hey, I don't compromise. Someone talking on the phone for more than 2 minutes, especially when I'm listening to 702. If you want to talk on the phone, wait for me to arrive where we are going. Otherwise, 2 minutes maximum. Because anything you miss on 702 for that day, you miss it a lot, especially the Whiz Kids for the kids. That show is awesome. Especially the song, It's a Fly. Yeah. I can't compromise that, Bongani. Thank you.
You say that to all the girls. Appreciate that voice note. I think Shadi from Kempton Park is making some excellent points there. Cell phones at funerals. There's even a trend now where people, obviously dressed to their nines, will take photographs of themselves at a funeral, looking fantastic in their dark shades, and it's all about, we showed up for Amo's, great-great-grand aunt. But it's no longer about, we're there to comfort the bereaved, we're just there to look fabulous. What items or behavior do you think ought to be banned from public places?
Start your day with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
23 after 6. We asked that question simply because, of course, we're just days away now from the start of the FIFA World Cup 2026. And it kicks off in just over a week, in fact, across the US, Mexico, and Canada. And organizers have blown the whistle on a long list of fan favorites. Out goes the vuvuzela. You can't take it to this World Cup, I'm afraid. Air horns, pyrotechnics, vapes, e-cigarettes, refillable plastic bottles, umbrellas, folding chairs, seats, bags, and backpacks will all be banned inside stadia under updated tournament rules. And so that's what is going to be happening at this year's World Cup. Muteo, you're shaking your head vigorously there.
Yeah, this is not a ballet performance. I mean, those are the normal things that fans carry to the stadium. I don't understand.
Well, you're not going anywhere.
Well, at that price, I wouldn't be, no.
So that's why we're asking you, what items of behavior do you think ought to be banned at public events? People vaping in the crowd, giant umbrellas blocking your view, oversized bags taking up space, or that one person who thinks everyone wants to hear them louder than the show. I mean, if Luther were here and we were all at Luther's show, it would be the Bongani and Luther show, wouldn't it? Today is World Environment Day, a global moment that inspires awareness and drives real action on the ground to protect the planet. Established by the United Nations, it's the world's largest international platform for public engagement, and the idea is to bring together millions of people from around the world, their governments and business, of course, in a shared mission to confront urgent challenges around climate change, pollution and biodiversity loss. Are you looking for something to add on your watch list this weekend? Well, Jenny from the block, Jennifer Lopez, back, this time trading the boardroom for romance in Netflix's brand new romantic comedy, Office Romance. The film follows a no-nonsense CEO and her company's newly hired lawyer, whose undeniable chemistry threatens to blur the lines between business and pleasure. It's co-written and stars Brett Goldstein alongside Lopez, and it explores what happens when workplace professionalism collides with unexpected attraction. And I wonder, I'd love to know, I mean, it's a Friday, we can talk about this. Have you ever had an office romance? How do you deal with a crush at the office? And would you date your superior, your manager, or even your boss? And what policies are you aware of in your workplace that prevent that from happening? And on this day in 2004, the R&B singer Usher made chart history, becoming the first artist since the Bee Gees in 1978 to simultaneously land 3 songs in the US top 10. At the peak of his dominance, the song Burn held the number 1 spot, whilst Yeah sat at number 4, and Confessions rounded off the milestone at number 9. We now know, of course, people like Taylor Swift. I think at one point she had the top 14 songs. But in Usher's day, you still had to go to the shop at Musica and buy the CD. In some ways, for me, that feels like the more genuine chart record than Swifties and their phones.
702.
The newspapers.
How? You didn't let it burn.
Please let it burn.
I stopped talking because I wanted you to let it burn.
Please let it burn.
KG doesn't want to let it burn. Swiss Zulu, what's in the newspapers?
Good morning.
KG will not let it burn, says the New York Times.
Those are the newspapers.
Ooh, you're letting it burn.
Listen, in Nepal, there is a mountain guide who was feared dead after missing on Mount Everest last Friday. And he's been found alive 6 days later in what rescuers are calling a miracle. His name is Dawa Sherpa. He disappeared while descending the world's highest peak, prompting his family to start last rites prayers, preparing maybe for his burial as hopes of him finding alive faded. But yesterday, he was spotted crawling down the mountain by a cleaning crew after surviving alone at Everest's notorious death zone.
Cleaning crew?
Yeah, cleaning crew on the
Sounded
mountain.
like you said killing crew.
No, it's a cleaning crew. And so he is actually a veteran guide, and he's now recovering in hospital and from frostbites and other cold-related injuries.
Oh, that's a nice story to know. Mail and Guardian front page, migration diplomacy drive unveiled. The president saying he will be sending envoys to African countries and around the world to address the migration issue we are facing. The Sowetan Hawks ignored drug heist warning. This is from the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. The business day, Joburg woes a national emergency. This is now as business warns that we cannot let Joburg go to the dogs. They're warning about the visible decline of the city, which accounts for about 16% of our GDP. And they're saying letting Joburg go undermines the national growth story at precisely the moment a more positive narrative is gaining credibility. In the front page of The Citizen, tragedy of South Africa's broken towns.
EWN Business.
Or is that broke towns? Pretty much the same thing, isn't it? Muteo, you were asking if we've got salary envy.
Yeah, if you hear somebody's earning the big bucks, are you inspired? Do you not care because you're content with your salary? Or you just imagine what you would do with the money if you were earning that much?
I mean, can't it be all those things?
I'm asking the question this morning because ABSA, one of the top 4 banks in the country, hosted its annual general meeting yesterday. Now, usually these are uneventful, just a formality, right? But yesterday, it was a bit different. ABSA shareholders overwhelmingly voted against executive and director pay proposals at the company's AGM. Over 43% of the shareholders rejected the remuneration report, which was heavily driven by CEO Kenny Fihler's total 2025 remuneration of 148 million rand. This package included a massive 98.5 million rand buyout to compensate him for unvested equity he forfeited upon leaving Standard Bank. Of course, he crossed floors and was headhunted by ABSA. The revolt highlighted deep dissatisfaction on how the board's remuneration committee handled executive payouts. A special resolution for the proposed non-executive director remuneration failed entirely, failing to reach the required 75% support, with only 56% voting in favor. Now, the result marks a dramatic shift from last year, when nearly 90% of shareholders supported the remuneration report. This was not simply a protest by small retail investors. This included institutional investors like the Public Investment Corporation, including BlackRock. Now, what happens next? More than 25% of shareholders voted against the advisory vote of remuneration. So ABSA Group now has to go back to shareholders and talk to them about this package.
Are they seeing red? Where you indicators?
Definitely are. The rand not seeing red, though, in the green against the US dollar, 16 rand 33 against the US dollar, 18 rand 97 against the euro, and 21 rand 92 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $4,438 an ounce, or platinum is at $1,882. Brent crude at $95 a barrel. More business after 7.
Mateo, before I let you go, here's one ahead of the Whiz Quiz today. What gender is Iron Man? A female. If you know your periodic table, you'll get that joke. In the meantime, Sfisa Zulu, you've got quite a tragic story.
That's right, Bongani. Good morning. Please note the following story contains graphic details. Ekurhuleni Emergency Services have found the body of a man at a water reservoir. Paramedics received reports yesterday about a person hanging from a tree inside the reservoir yard in Eden Park. City of Ekurhuleni Emergency Services spokesperson Tiki McDonald says they found the body in a decomposing state.
The incident are alleged to be suicide, but this remains subjected to police confirmation. For life-threatening emergencies, contact the City of Ekurhuleni's Emergency Management Services.
Western Cape Education MEC David Maynard says the province will press ahead with its legal challenge in the dismissal of a Heathfield High School principal, Wesley Niemann. The department was yesterday granted leave to appeal a Labour court ruling that overturned the teacher's dismissal. During the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, Niemann refused to reopen the school, prompting his dismissal. The MEC says the court made a multiple legal and factual error when reviewing an arbitration award by the Education Labour Relations Council.
We will remain focused on the best interests of the learners of Heathfield High School. The school is flourishing and has produced a matric pass rate of 89.9%, the school's highest in 15 years.
Western Cape Police have intensified a corruption investigation linked to a former City of Cape Town contractor. Cops have implemented fresh search and seizure operations at the Metro's offices. An investigation stems from a sting operation in which the company's owner was arrested after allegedly offering a large cash bribe to the city manager. Yesterday, the SAPS Commercial Crime Investigation Unit swooped on multiple properties and the City of Cape Town office as part of an ongoing investigation involving CCC maintenance and services. Officers seized 21 cell phones and 9 laptops for forensic analysis, along with other material believed to be linked to the case. The police's Andre Trout.
The investigation, which is being conducted jointly with the City of Cape Town, remains active, and the evidence gathered will assist detectives in pursuing all persons implicated in the matter.
And the Garden Route Disaster Management Centre says it's continuing to assist communities that remain isolated by flooding. The district has been battered by heavy rain over the past 2 days, triggering widespread flooding, rockfalls and landslides. Several rivers and dams have overflowed, while some roads have been closed. Disaster management officials warn that flooding is likely to persist into the weekend as large volumes of water continue flowing towards the sea. Disaster management head Gerard Otto says authorities are closely monitoring the situation.
We're also aware that many areas is still cut off. We are doing assessments to see if there's humanitarian aid required. Fortunately, our call for people to stock up worked because they knew that they might be cut off again. The Department of Infrastructure is trying to work as hard as possible to open these areas again, but you can imagine it's still too wet for them to access many areas, and it'll only happen over the weekend and into next week.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures are at lows of 4 and 6 degrees, peaking at highs between 14 and 16.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N3 South. This is between Linksfield Road and the Kilulis interchange. There's also queuing traffic reported on the M1 North. That's between Boyson's Road and Carr Street.
The top story this hour, Ekurhuleni Emergency Services have found the body of a man hanging from a tree at a water reservoir.
Doing your famous through meetings, in traffic, at the store. Don't let seasonal hay fever get in the way of a better you. Unite against allergies with Demazin once a day, providing 24-hour non-sedating relief from symptoms like a runny nose, sneezing and itchy red eyes. Demazin gets it done. Speak to your pharmacist today about Demazin once a day.
Evolution doesn't wait. Introducing the Chang'an Uni S. Unexpected, unmistakable, uncompromising. Engineered to a higher standard, unlike anything in its class. Unsurprising, really, from China's oldest automaker. Trusted by 30 million drivers worldwide. And at $4,999 per month, it's an unbeatable offer too. Chang'an Finance, T's and C's apply. Visit chang'anmotors.co.za for more. The Chang'an Uni S.
Chang'an, driven to evolve.
John, have you seen? Filing season dates have been announced.
I did, and I can't wait to be done.
Well, for now, all you need to do is log on to e-filing or the SARS Mobi app. Update your personal and banking details, then check and note your filing dates. That's it.
Make tax matters your priority number one. Unlock the power of done. Go to sars.gov.za. SARS, at your service.
What if the problem you faced became the business that changed everything? That's what Nedbank Business Ignite on 702 is all about. With this year's theme, My Pain, My Purpose, My Solution. So we're calling on small businesses that turned real challenges into powerful ideas. You could win 200,000 Rand in cash, plus mentorship, business support, and tools to help you grow sustainably. Enter the Nedbank Business Ignite on 702 now at primemediaplus.com or igniteyourbusiness.co.za. Nedbank, see money differently. An authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Hi, my name is Bongast. People who annoy me a lot at public events is people who arrive late, especially where guests are required to be seated. I mean, find them walking through whispering, excuse my foot. Everybody's got to stand up now and accommodate you when you're late arrival. Secondly, telephone at events. I was at the graduation event last week, Thursday at UP. Just an hour and a half. Adults were there, but so absent, so focused on their cell phones. Just an hour and a half. Why take time off to go to an event if you cannot be present? Thanks, Bongals. Tabo Mitrand.
Bongani, morning, you and the team and the whole 702. My worst part is when I go to an audience, maybe at a school, or people are acting, or the children are on stage at an assemble, and then they start the music, or the children start singing a nice song, and then maybe they're playing guitars or something, and then the audience start clapping without being asked to clap.
That is my worst, because now we don't know the beats, we don't know when to stop, we just clap, and those children are busy dancing or the music is on, and then people start clapping all the way. That one makes me freak. If these people want you to help, they will say, okay, can we all have a clap, or can we all clap or dance? They will ask you. They are performing. You have to watch them perform.
I hear you. We're asking a simple question today. What items or even behavior ought to be banned at public events? I can get the excitement of parents. The little ones are coming on stage and, go little Johnny, go little Tsepo, and you're excited. But I understand what you're saying in terms of how disruptive that can be to the performers themselves, especially if they're young ones, when they can't hear what they're doing, or at least some of the audience members cannot. The latecomers, or those people who need to just move up and down, they're right, and they usually sit in the middle, right in the center, Mr. Fenter, right? And it's that whispering, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And then they come back again, and they're carrying drinks, and now you're worried that they're going to spill on you. We're asking this question, of course, Cindy Paluta, you'll note, because of the latest rules as far as the FIFA World Cup 2026 is concerned. They've banned things like vuvuzelas. You're not allowed to bring refillable plastic bottles. You're not allowed to bring backpacks. All of the things that would be commonplace at South African stadia will not be seen at this year's World Cup. Is it that it's not real if people didn't film it? You're at a concert, you're at a show, and unless you've got a video to say, I was there, it didn't happen.
It's the same with the gym workout, Bongani. If you go to gym and you don't film it, were you there?
Yeah, but it's not disruptive to anybody else. My little video at the gym is not disruptive to anybody else.
I think you're going to have a lot of people saying that it is disruptive.
How?
I remember when my kids were little, they always used to say, don't worry about filming. We've got somebody in the background who will film, etc., etc. But essentially, and they discouraged phones. But essentially, what happens then is you don't get to see. Then you've got a video of everybody else's children,
and not
right?
your child.
And not your child. And in hindsight, I wish I had recorded a little bit more. But then you've got to ask yourself, when you go to musicians are actually saying this case in point is that they find concerts are quieter because everybody's so busy filming. Nobody wants to be singing on their own video, because if you ever gone to go watch a musician and then you send the video to your friend and there you are in the background, everything I do. Can't even hear Bryan Adams, right? So people have stopped singing because they're filming to get the
is
audio.
this a good thing or not?
No, I think it's terrible. And that's why Coldplay doesn't allow phones at their concerts. I think Harry Styles also recently had a concert. He didn't allow people to film. Not his latest tour, but there was one before that. So there's this movement towards just be here, be present, be in the moment. We're recording it. You were there.
That's enough.
Have you ever been stuck with a friend who tries to show you that they were at a concert? You're like, okay, thanks. So why are we filming these videos?
Right? Let us know.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, let's start with the Reds. You're wearing a red scarf today.
I am.
Yes, you are.
Handmade. It's official. Liverpool unveiled Andoni Areola as their new head coach on a 2-year deal, replacing Arne Slot, who was sacked.
So really excited because obviously you know about Liverpool, you know that is a big club, a massive club, one of the biggest in the world, but feeling inside, no, and understanding a little bit more of this club. And I always thought it's a special club, not about the football side, also because how they are passionate about the club. And
Bafana and Banyana play friendlies tomorrow. Bafana's warm-up match with Jamaica was scheduled for today. It's now been moved to tomorrow. It'll be played behind closed doors, while Banyana played Japan in preparation for the women's AFCON. Last night's World Cup warm-up matches, Ivory Coast with a shock 2-1 win over France, Ahmad with the late winner. Sweden held by Greece 2-2. Iran beat Mali 2-0. For the first time in Roland Garros history, a qualifier has made it to the final. Maya Kolinska beat Diana Schneider 7-6, 6-4.
It was such a challenging match for sure, mentally and physically. I feel like the first set was such a battle, you know. We definitely gave our all. So yeah, I'm definitely very proud of the effort, of my effort, and just super happy with the win, of course. And I definitely feel like the crowd helped me a lot and gave me a lot of energy today.
Kolinska will play Andreeva in tomorrow's final after Andreeva beat Kostiak 6-1, 6-3. Leinster named their strongest possible side to face the Stormers in tomorrow's United Rugby Championship semi-final. Keenan at fullback behind O'Brien and Lowe in the midfield, Ione and Osborne, while Prendergast and Gibson Park combine at halfback. Kickoff is 6:30. That's after the Bulls have played their semi-final against Glasgow. In Sevens Rugby, the Blitzboks are in Bordeaux for the final leg of the World Championship. The men play Great Britain and Kenya today, and then tomorrow Fiji. Blitzboks at 4 points clear at the top of the standings. Here's Impi Visser.
This game is 90% mental, 10% physical. I think everyone's fit, everyone's strong, everyone's got skills. So ultimately it's the guys that's well prepared in the mind that's ultimately going to be successful.
In Test cricket, 16 wickets fell on day one at Lords, where New Zealand were 61 for 6 at stumps in reply to England's 140. I feel sad for Test cricket when I see those scores.
Wow,
Anyway,
that's fantastic.
New Zealand's Jamieson has taken 5 wickets for England, Robertson sitting on 4. And Pakistan got an ODI series win over Australia, winning the third ODI by 4 wickets. Pakistan chasing down 158 with 8 overs to spare. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Let's hear from Dr. Armand, owner of Monument Dental, why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance.
It was one call and I was covered immediately. We are very happy with the premium we're paying. I wish I did it sooner.
For dentistries, general medical practices and all other businesses, get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Honor the Father's Day on Sunday, 21 June at Narok Sculpture Park, celebrating the elders of South African music who helped shape the country's cultural heritage across generations. It's the typically warm, high-felt winter sun whilst cherishing fathers, grandfathers, stepfathers, father figures, fathers past and fathers to be. The program will showcase the mastercrafts of Vusi Mahlasela, Herbie Tswaedi, Silaelo Silota, Madala Kunene, and others. Limited tickets available from naroxarts.com. Narox is a private, not-for-profit foundation to benefit the arts. All income is used to maintain the grounds, the artist residency program, and artist support.
When choosing a university, facts matter. WITS is ranked #1 in Africa in the 2026 Center for World University Rankings out of more than 21,000 universities worldwide. This ranking uses objective data to assess universities on the academic and employment success of alumni, research quality and impact, as well as major distinctions and awards. No spin, no surveys, no perceptions, just facts. WITS has earned its place in the ranking that matters. WITS. For good. wits.ac.za.
Coming up in the next hour, What's the Question? And it's brought to you by Outsurance. 3,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. All you need to do is send us an answer based on something that piqued your interest during the show. For that, you win 1,000 Rand. Simply WhatsApp us your name and the answer to 072 702 1702. And of course, a little later, someone else will ask a question to get to your answer and they will win 2,000 Rand. Now, you always stand a better chance of being selected to give us today's answer if you've SMS'd out to Outsurance and got yourself a quote. So do it now. SMS out to 45142 and you could save on your car insurance.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Hello, Uncle Bongani. My name is Amakalang Navani. I am 11 years old. I go to law school as Park Primary School. When I grow up, I'd love to be a pediatrician, and I'm really excited and nervous to play the Whiz Quiz with you.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
EWN Traffic.
12 to 7, this EWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask them for 500 Rand. Tell us about this horror crash on the M1 North. Amo?
Well, thanks, Bongani. I'm being told by our faithful listeners that a taxi has overturned along this route. It's on the left lane, so please be on the lookout there right
exactly?
after Corlett Drive in the Melrose area.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the delays we are seeing at this particular moment are coming out of the Killarney bends, and if you are traveling on the M1 South, you'll be affected. This is due to onlookers as well coming out of Greyston Drive. Then, of course, if you are traveling in the east of Joburg, we've got delays on the N3 South. This is between Morfontein Road and the Kilulis interchange. That's due to roadworks. I'll have more updates coming up. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Things people stress about in traffic. Number 51. Did I use too many emojis in that text? Did I sound too eager? Oh, the mental gymnastics. Well, with the Outsurance Pointsman on your route, at least the traffic is one less thing to stress about. The Outsurance Pointsmen have been easing traffic congestion so we all get to where we need to be quickly and safely for the past 20 years. With Outsurance, you really always get something out. In partnership with 702, Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
When choosing a university, facts matter. Wits is ranked #1 in Africa in the 2026 Center for World University Rankings, out of more than 21,000 universities worldwide. This ranking uses objective data to assess universities on the academic and employment success of alumni, research quality and impact, as well as major distinctions and awards. No spin, no surveys, no perceptions, just facts. Wits has earned its place in the ranking that matters. Wits, for good. Wits.ac.za.
Hi, this is Alia Itzebet, Hollywood Bets brand ambassador. A reminder that you can still shoot for the stars while playing responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counselling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
Not every change feels like a choice. Some arrive as disruption. Shift Happens with Richard Sutton is a podcast about those moments where life moves first and you have to catch up. When certainty disappears, direction blurs, and everything familiar starts to shift. You'll hear stories from people who faced change, doubt, and pressure and found a way forward. Their stories give us confidence. Living vicariously through their experience gives us hope, and we learn from their journeys. Because what feels like an ending is often the beginning of something else. Shift Happens weekly on primemediaplus.com, the Prime Media Plus app, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Powered by First Light, therapeutics for the modern mind.
Whether it is a CCMA referral, problems with a mechanic, unfair blacklisting, or an uncontested divorce, Clientele Legal offers professional legal services to all South Africans. Our plans are affordable, and you receive up to 745,000 Rand worth of legal services per year. We cover civil, criminal, and labor-related matters. Our nationwide legal teams are standing by to support you 24 hours a day. Plus, all plans include a 5,000 Rand bail benefit. Join today. SMS LEGAL to 48721. That's legal to 48721. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Up next, the political desk looking at the week that was with the award-winning Alpha Ramushwana. In the meantime, though, let's give away some cash, shall we? Amugelang is 11 years old, goes to West Park Primary School and wants to be a pediatrician a little later on in life. I imagine, Amugelang, you like your doctor, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Does your doctor always give you sweets?
Yes.
I can see why you want to be a pediatrician later on in life. Let's play the Whiz Quiz. Which province is the city Durban located in?
KwaZulu-Natal.
Correct. True or false? Elephants have long tusks and a trunk.
True.
Complete the saying, you can't judge a book by its what?
Cover.
Correct. How many colors does the South African flag have? 6 or 8?
6.
Correct. True or false? A mountain that erupts with lava is called a volcano.
True.
Correct. What is the correct term for a baby cat? Is it a cub or a kitten?
A chicken.
Is it a cub or a kitten?
A chicken.
Let's go with true. Which part of the plant absorbs water and minerals from the soil?
Pardon?
Which part of a plant absorbs water and minerals from the soil?
Pass.
The root. What is 5 times 5?
10.
25. 25. You kept saying chicken instead of kitten, but I think you meant kitten, so we'll give you that answer. Amukelang, you walk away with 600 Rand. 6 correct answers. Remember, it's 100 bucks for each correct answer. You get all 10, you win 10,000 Rand.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz.
On 702.
702.
The Political Desk.
6 minutes before 7 o'clock, we're looking at the political desk, the week that was politically in South Africa. We've invited the award-winning Alpha Ramushwana, winning, of course, 2 awards at the National Press Club Awards, looking at journalism and people who are doing incredible work in their field. Firstly, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Bongani. I really appreciate it.
We now call you the award-winning. Hey?
Multi. I beg your pardon.
All right, let's start with, and I suspect part of what you are being recognized for is the work you've been doing, particularly in Emfuleni.
Yeah.
You've done some audiovisual work. People can go look at that on Prime Media Plus. They can also go to the EWN app, of course. The ANC being forced to recall the Emfuleni Mayor, Sipho Khadebe, poor service delivery at the center of that decision. And of course, the fact that the DA recently won award in Emfuleni just by 8 votes. What is your sense of how people are responding to the work that you have done and what you've exposed happening in Emfuleni?
Yeah, I mean, as Eyewitness News over the past 2 years, we've been really focused on reporting on the service delivery collapses in Emfuleni. We were there 2 months ago. We were there last year. I remember last year reporting on an informal settlement called the Ramaphosa Informal Settlement, which was given mobile toilets by the municipality, and the provincial government and the local municipality stopped paying for the maintenance of those toilets. And so now we're seeing the ANC beginning to respond to the concerns of the people. I mean, Sipho Khadebe of the ANC has been the mayor since 2021, and only in 2026 they decide to recall him because of service delivery failures. Sipho Khadebe lives in a community called Tshepong, which is about a 5-minute drive from Debonair Park. And when I went there 2 months ago, the residents kept on saying, this man lives here. He drives with his BMWs over these potholes every single day. He passes through this park, which has become a dumping site, an illegal dumping site, every single day, and not so much has been done. So I think even with the voters who have now in Everton supported the DA winning its first township ward in Emfuleni, are beginning to vote against some of the service delivery collapses that we've seen in Emfuleni over the past 5 years. So it's going to be an interesting election on November 4th. The ANC seems like it might not emerge victorious in many of these wards.
Well, one of the things that they've done in changing their strategy now is no longer letting the branches decide who the candidates must be, the NEC trying to manage that process. Let's jump ahead to the big news story yesterday, the Kenyan president in town.
Yeah, yesterday, Kenyan President William Ruto was at the Union Buildings for a state visit with President Cyril Ramaphosa, of course, discussing bilateral talks. They were talking about trade relations between South Africa and Kenya. 11 billion rand in trade and investment flows between the two countries each and every single year. And more South African companies are beginning to invest in Kenya. There are 60 South African companies that operate in Kenya. Big companies such as MTN and the likes have some sort of representation in the country. And so it does seem like it is a bilateral agreement or relation that needs to be nurtured a little bit more.
How tense was the room? Because a lot of the focus, certainly in terms of the questions reporters were asking, were around this migration issue. The president saying he's now going to send envoys.
Yes, the president wants to send envoys to some of the countries, especially those that have opened up transport for their people to return home, countries such as Ghana. But it seems that William Ruto, the president of Kenya, was a little bit more understanding. And in fact, he did say that he understands that migration is not migration issues are not only happening to South Africa. They are happening all across the globe, especially in countries that are doing well economically. People will always go there. So he seems to understand what exactly South Africa is going through.
But of course, the two countries have had a very different approach in dealing with the Trump White House in the United States.
Yes, I mean, South Africa and the United States haven't been seeing eye to eye over the past 2 years since Trump returned to the White House. However, Kenya and the United States are some sort of best friends. I mean, they have a number of bases in Kenya. They're even helping out with the Ebola crisis that is happening in certain parts of Africa. Even William Ruto kept on saying yesterday that he's not going to dump the United States because they've helped out Kenya so much over the past few years, and he seems to be really a fan of the Trump administration, really.
Talking about dumping, Liam Jacobs returns to the DA. That was a big story.
Yes, Liam Jacobs dumped the DA, went to the Patriotic Alliance, and he now has dumped the Patriotic Alliance and has rejoined or rekindled his relationship with the Democratic Alliance. And I think it signals the political transfer season. We're going to see a lot more of these transfers over the next few months. I mean, Papa Penny left the MK party, now went to Floyd Chibambu's Africa Maibuya movement, and it's the season for political transfers and defections. But I think with Liam Jacobs, he's a 25-year-old man. He was a member of parliament for the DA at the age of 23. Someone said that he still is very young and does have room to make mistakes. However, I think it does affect his credibility. I think it's still going to be a tough time in the DA. I don't think they trust him as of yet because he left in a very sour manner without even informing the structures of the party.
And I think it's going to be one of the points on which people will judge the Blue Party itself in terms of the kinds of people it may attract from time to time. Appreciate your time, Alpha Ramushwana, looking at the political week that was in this week's Political Desk.
702.
Coming up, the big interview.
Up next, we'll speak to the current recipient of the Order of the Order of Mapungubwe in gold, the only living recipient for a long time, who's going to be telling us about South African science and how increasingly the world is paying closer attention in terms of the breakthroughs that are happening in medicine. We'll talk Ebola. We'll talk HIV with Professor Tulio de Oliveira.
This is EWN.
Mpumalanga police make arrests in the wake of an anti-immigration march, and Parliament's Phala inquiry work is starting to peak. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Mpumalanga police have confirmed the arrest of 14 undocumented foreign nationals following an anti-illegal immigration march in Emalahleni. About 1,500 people took part in the demonstrations yesterday. Law enforcement agencies were deployed to monitor the march, which ended with the organizers handing over a memorandum at the local municipality offices. The police's Donald Ndluli says the march was without any major incident, but he warns communities against taking the law into their own hands.
There were foreign nationals that were processed by the Department of Home Affairs, and it was during this time that it was discovered that 14 amongst them had no valid documentation to be in the country, as they were apprehended and charged accordingly.
A subcommittee reviewing the rules of the National Assembly has provisionally adopted a new set of rules, and this will guide the work of Parliament's Section 89 inquiry that will investigate alleged misconduct by the President. It follows last month's Constitutional Court order that Parliament establish an impeachment committee to probe matters related to President Cyril Ramaphosa's Phala farm after the National Assembly had declined to do so. Chairperson of the subcommittee, Doris Mpapane, says the rules-making process does not deter the impeachment committee from laying the groundwork for the inquiry. Lindsay Dentlinger has more.
Last night, tempers flared at times as the MK party sought assurances from the committee that the rules-making process won't stall the start of the impeachment inquiry. Following inputs from political parties on the process, the subcommittee was presented with a 39-page document proposing detailed rules and guidelines for a Section 89 inquiry. External legal counsel Andrew Breitenbach advised that the impeachment committee not begin leading witness testimony until firm rules are in place, but this did not satisfy the MKP's Maswanele Manyi.
My biggest discomfort with this detail is that I think it is a micromanagement of the impeachment committee.
The subcommittee could not agree on a proposal from the DA that only MPs considered fit and proper serve on the impeachment committee. The subcommittee agreed to obtain an external legal opinion on this matter. In the meantime, the proposed rules will be tabled before the Rules Committee next week for consideration before being sent to the National Assembly for final approval. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
The Nulane corruption case linked to the Gupta brothers is set to resume in September after the NPA re-enrolled the matter. The move follows a Supreme Court of Appeal ruling that overturned the 2023 acquittals and cleared the way for the prosecution to proceed. At the center of the case are allegations that 24.9 million rand was paid to Nulane Investments for a feasibility study that helped pave the way for the controversial Estina Reeder Dairy project. The matter is also one of two cases in which South Africa failed to secure the extradition of Atul Gupta and Rajesh from the UAE. NPA spokesperson Henry Mamutame.
The investigating directorate against corruption has re-enrolled the Nulane corruption case at the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court. This follows the acquittal of the accused by the Bloemfontein High Court, to which IDEC filed an appeal, which yielded a positive outcome. The case was postponed to 22 September 2026 for the disclosure of the docket.
And the ongoing migration issue has featured prominently during South Africa's bilateral talks with Kenya. President Cyril Ramaphosa hosted his Kenyan counterparts, William Ruto, at the Union Buildings for a state visit yesterday. High on the agenda was signing new bilateral memoranda of understanding and discussions on methods to improve trade relations. But migration issues were also raised during the meeting. Alfred Mushwana was there.
Over the past few weeks, several groups have taken to the streets to voice concerns about illegal migration by some African nationals into South Africa. The protests have prompted some African countries, including Ghana and Mozambique, to arrange transport for citizens who wish to return home. However, President Cyril Ramaphosa has reassured Kenyan President William Ruto that there is nothing to worry about.
You and I also took time to deal with the challenges that we as South Africa are facing with regard to migration. And we dealt with that, and we sought to understand the causes of migration and how best all countries on the continent can work together.
The two countries have a migration agreement in place, with South Africa granting Kenyan passport holders visa-free access for stays up to 90 days. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, at the Union Buildings in Pretoria.
Gold is trading at $447.57 an ounce. The rand is at 16.34 to the dollar, 21.94 to the pound, 18.98 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $95.42 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the M1 North. This is between the Boysons Road exit and Empire Road. Then if you continue making your way towards areas like Sandton, do expect heavier traffic volumes between the Killarney Bends and Grayston Drive. That's due to an accident right after the Qualle Drive exit where a taxi overturned.
And in your sport, Liverpool finally confirmed Andoni Areola's manager on a 2-year deal. Bafana's friendly with Jamaica scheduled for today has been moved to tomorrow behind closed doors. For the first time in Roland Garros history, a qualifier has made it to the final. Kwalinska will now play Andriva. And Leinster named their strongest possible side to face the Stormers for tomorrow's URC semi-final.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng. Johannesburg is at a low of 3 degrees, peaking at 14. Pretoria 6 and 16. Vereniging 4 and 13. The top story in EWN this hour. Mpumalanga police have confirmed the arrest of 14 undocumented foreign nationals following an anti-illegal immigration march in Emalahleni.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Joburg is more than just a city. It's an energy that connects us all.
That's what makes this one so special.
In 702, Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Enter now on primeMediaPlus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
8 minutes after 7 o'clock, reflecting, of course, on the ongoing migration issues. Yesterday, President Cyril Ramaphosa saying there are now discussions underway to send envoys to African countries and indeed around the world to explain, as he put it, that South Africans are not xenophobic. This, of course, as he was hosting his Kenyan counterpart, President William Ruto, who continues to have a cozy relationship with Donald Trump's White House and now seems to be the point man, the African point man. William Ruto invited to the G7 meeting that's coming up in Paris, France. Our president will not be going. He certainly will not be going to the G20. Talking of the US President Donald Trump, he now says he would in fact be willing to meet Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, if a deal can be reached to end the conflict between Washington and Tehran. I wonder how that conversation would go, you meeting the person whose decision it was to kill your father.
I don't want to meet, but if I did meet, I'd be honored to meet him. I'd like to see if we make a deal. But if we make a deal, it's possible that I would meet him. I'd be okay with it.
Would that happen here in the U.S.? White House?
Oh, I don't know, Peter. I haven't really heard too much about it. I didn't suggest it, but some people have suggested it. If it happened, it would be happen. I'd be respectful. Well, I would say I'm not his favorite person, but with that being said, he's probably I don't know. He's probably a professional. In some circles, he has a very good reputation, actually. You know, sometimes some people say bad, but a lot of people say bad about me. It's totally false, of course.
I get the sense this man just makes things up as he goes along. He says he'd be honored to meet him, but he's not his personal favorite. Then he has a good reputation, and then everybody says, oh, my goodness. The United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio, though, has been facing some tough questioning in Congress, including accusations that the president is always asleep.
Secretary Rubio, have you been at more than one meeting where President Trump has fallen asleep?
That's false. That's false. I've never seen him fall asleep. On the contrary, the guy doesn't sleep, which is a big problem because he calls me at 2 a.m, he calls me at 5 a.m. And, you know, I like to sleep a little bit, maybe not 12 hours, but at least 6. So he works. The other day he was at the Oval Office until 12:30 p.m. 12:30 a.m. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to show you in a moment a video that shows you just lied to Congress.
Oh, okay. I don't even know how to respond to that other than to tell you that it's absurd and ridiculous. And I can't believe we're in a Foreign Affairs Committee meeting in front of the House at an important time in American foreign policy.
Just keep lying, Secretary Rubio. Just keep lying.
Supposedly someone who thinks he's a medical expert when he's not. The truth of the matter is we had a cognitively impaired president in office a few years ago. That's a cognitively impaired president, but I don't like to talk about that because it weakens America. This president we have, this is a guy that literally doesn't sleep.
Of course, Marco Rubio, they're facing tough questions from the Democratic Party Congressman Ted Lieu, and denying that Trump falls asleep, even as he was shown video evidence of what appeared at least to be a sleepy Trump. But I suppose, and this is taken from a 2017 cabinet meeting of Donald Trump during his first term, I suppose when this is the kind of atmosphere that Trump is used to around his cabinet colleagues, why wouldn't he fall asleep?
It has never been a better time to be an American.
I think actually your efforts on the reflecting pool are actually a great segue. Just like you talked about with the reflecting pool, we didn't do the same old thing the way we'd done it in the past.
Just a reminder of another war you helped to settle, Mr. President.
It's exciting to see your vision.
You're leading us to the greatest economy that the world has ever known, and that's why they tell you to tell me to tell you, Mr. President, thank you, and they love you.
Those are various ministers in the Trump administration. Make of that what you will.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
12 after 7, things you need to know at this hour. It is World Environment Day, established by the United Nations, and is a global call for action against climate change and environmental protection. And talking of that, severe weather continues to affect parts of the Western and Eastern Cape. Heavy rain causing flooding, mudslides, rockfalls, road closures and power outages. Meanwhile, Gauteng residents are advised to prepare for a sharp drop in temperatures this weekend and, of course, to take the necessary precautions to stay warm and safe. It was on this day in 1981 the world first received a warning of what would become a global health crisis when the first cases of AIDS were officially reported. The announcement marked the beginning of a decades-long search for a cure, research, activism, and medical breakthroughs in a fight against what would later be identified as HIV/AIDS, a disease that affects millions of lives around the world to this day. And in 1956, on this day, the American smooth jazz icon Kenny G, born Kenneth Bruce Gorlick, was born. He turns 70 today, renowned for his signature saxophone sound. He has captivated audiences around the world. And we thought it particularly poignant to play this one, in which he collaborates with the now late Peebo Bryson.
Silence takes over, saying all we need to say. There's endless possibilities in the moves we can make. Your kiss is giving every indication. If this heart of mine is right, by the time this night is over, the stars are gonna shine to lovers in love. And when the morning comes, it's gonna find us together.
Of course, Kenneth Gorlick shares a birthday with the award-winning South African novelist, short story writer, journalist, and television scriptwriter Lauren Beukes, known for gripping works like Zoo City and Broken Monsters, and her novel The Shining Girls, also adapted into a television series on Apple TV starring Elizabeth Moss.
7:02. Up next,
The Big Interview.
EWN Traffic.
7:15, peak time delays everywhere and including the capital, Amo.
That's correct, Bongani. The R80 East Mabopane Highway heavily backed up between the R55 and Niskia Mphahlele Drive, as well as the N4 West in the Pretoria area. This is between Lindwood Road and the Proof Plus interchange. While traveling towards Midrand, do expect delays just as you leave the city of Tshwane on the N1 South towards Samrin Avenue due to an accident. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Whenever she fell or got hurt, a kiss always took the pain away. Honey and hugs helped at first when the coughing started. It's just a cold. Keep her warm and she'll be fine, we thought. I wish I could kiss RSV away too.
Respiratory syncytial virus is a contagious virus that can lead to serious illnesses, including lung infections. Fortunately, protection for infants against RSV is now available in South Africa. Ask your healthcare provider about keeping your baby protected during their first RSV season.
When choosing a university, facts matter. Wits is ranked #1 in Africa in the 2026 Center for World University Rankings, out of more than 21,000 universities worldwide. This ranking uses objective data to assess universities on the academic and employment success of alumni, research quality and impact, as well as major distinctions and awards. No spin, no surveys, no perceptions, just facts. Wits has earned its place in the ranking that matters. Wits, for good. Wits.ac.za.
Meet Abo, good South African and proud e-hailing driver. One day, he picks up passengers mid-fish and chips feast. Yo, sauce flying, vinegar spraying, then boom, tire taps out. Abo, chill. He's got budget insurance e-hailing cover with 24/7 roadside assist. So, no matter how saucy things get, Budget's got his back. Visit budgetinsurance.co.za. Budget is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
On Sunday, 26 July, the entire city unites for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. And because Joburg is more than just a city, we'll be walking for the people. So join us and help make a difference to homelessness in the city by entering on primemediaplus.com and donating vouchers.
Donate the voucher.
Which is a cashless way to give, helping people experiencing homelessness access a hot shower, a meal, a bed, or more support. Anybody can join and everybody can donate. 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Enter and donate now on primemediaplus.com.
702.
The Big Interview
with Bongani Bingwa.
We thought on a Friday, let's have a good news story. With so much bad news and so much that goes wrong in our country, every now and again we need to put a spotlight on what does go right. Once again, South Africa's scientific excellence, especially when it comes to the field of medicine, is increasingly earning global recognition. And one of the leading voices of that success story is Professor Tulio de Oliveira, recently honored, of course, with the Order of Mapungubwe in Gold, which is South Africa's highest civilian award and typically given posthumously. This year it was given to two medical scientists who are living and breathing. Professor de Oliveira has been recognized for his pioneering work in genomic surveillance and his role in helping the world understand and respond to COVID-19. Today, of course, he's at the forefront of discussions around groundbreaking HIV treatments that could even keep patients protected for up to 6 months without daily pills. He's also got a view on the latest Ebola outbreak and the growing influence of South African science on the global stage. We've spoken before, you and I, but Prof, it's good to see you in person, and thank you for coming into our studios.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me, and good morning to you and to all your listeners.
Congratulations on receiving the Order of Mapungubwe in Gold. I mean, it's a recognition that not only doesn't often get given to people who are still living and breathing. It is our highest civilian honor.
Yes, I'm very proud of that. Yeah, it was very special, not only for me, but for all our research teams, that science is being recognized in South Africa as an important contributor to society. So the Order of Mapungubwe in Gold last was given to a live person 10 years ago. So it's not a medal that they dish very easy. And was so exciting that this year we got two scientists, both Professor Salima Bedukarim, which is a very good friend, and I to get that award. And was such a happy day in Pretoria, with both our presidents and ministers really celebrating South African excellence.
Both of your names, of course, I think for most people certainly came to prominence during the COVID-19 pandemic. There was that particular moment when you identified the Omicron strain of the virus, and there was that overreaction, I think you might say. Did it feel, I suppose, in a sense, like a full circle moment that finally people were understanding that your job is as a scientist and you care about public health and not what it may look like?
Yes, we unfortunately, or fortunately to us, we are very used with overreactions. Yeah, so before I work with COVID, I worked with HIV/AIDS for 20 years. Yeah, and you're going to remember that in South Africa there was a lot of overreaction about
even that.
Even that, we have to really fight hard. Yeah, to bring antiretrovirals to South Africa. We had to fight hard to grow to what is the biggest and the most successful antiretroviral program in the world. And as part of that, normally my teams, the kind of first response when you have like new strains for drug resistance for HIV or big outbreaks in hospitals. So we have been used a little bit with some pushback. We have received multiple death threats. But what we know is that working with viruses and bacteria and identify them quick, it ends up saving lives and lots of lives. And that's what drives us.
It must be difficult, though, as a scientist who wants to save lives, whose job it is to save lives, to get yours threatened.
Yes, but that's part of the job. So as we speak now, we have large teams of medical responders in the Democratic Republic of Congo, from the Doctors Without Borders, the United Nations. Yeah, we are participating in the response. And some of them are being attacked by the population. Yeah, they are going there to save lives, but a lot of time there is a lot of misconceptions.
And I suppose these things always have to be dealt with some sensitivity in terms of people and bringing people on board and helping them understand. We saw that fight with COVID-19. Let's talk about your work as far as HIV prevention is concerned. There have been some breakthroughs, not only in terms of preventative care, but also in terms of helping those living with the virus.
Yes, it is. That's something that we are really excited. It's almost feel like magic, but we needed magic to happen. What we are seeing with the HIV epidemic is a little bit what happened with load shedding. It was a big problem, and all of a sudden, it is a small problem. Yeah, and the reason for that was some very large breakthroughs in the last 10 years. Yes, so for example, the first big breakthrough is a combined antiretroviral treatment that when taking one pill, now it has very, very little side effects. Yeah, and also maintain long-term suppression of the virus, which it means that people that are HIV infected can live a normal life. And then last year was another large breakthrough with many South African scientists participated, yeah, that it is this, what we call PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis. And this is an injection, not very different as the injection that people use now for weight loss, yeah, that if one take that, it gives 100% protection to acquire HIV for 6 months. And that has been approved. It started the rollout like last week. Our president, Ramaphosa, was in the north of the country highlighting that. And it's going to be initially rolled out to the groups that are most likely to be infected with HIV, that is young women, yeah, and men who have sex with men, and also people that are kind of in danger of acquire HIV for different circumstances.
So this would be a preventative jab, and for 6 months you would be in the clear.
Yes, it's for 6 months. It's reasons to believe that can last longer than 6 months, but what we know that is 100% protection for 6 months.
And now you're considering a similar approach even for those who already have the virus.
Yes, exactly, Bongani. So what's happened, that same therapy, we call that lenacapavir, yeah, is now being evaluated as a 6 months injection that would then control the virus in someone HIV infected. And that would then avoid people need to have daily pills.
How exciting is it that we are talking, I noted a little earlier on, that on this day, 45 years ago, the first cases that would later be identified as HIV/AIDS cases began to be recognized in the States. And in all this time, with all the activism, with all the breakthroughs, we're of course still to find a cure.
Yes, it has been not an easy journey, yeah, and especially for South Africa. Imagine we were hit by this very extreme HIV epidemic when we become just a new democracy, and we had to deal with transforming the country and with a big epidemic. But now, even that we don't have a cure for HIV, the treatment is so efficient, yeah. And also now with the injectable, that we're going to get very close to being not a big problem anymore. In the same way that people have some time to take statins for high blood pressure or cholesterol, we're going to get to a level that HIV treatment, it's an easy process, yeah, and that let people live a completely normal and healthy life.
South Africa, of course, is the country where the first heart transplant operation was conducted. Do you think that because of all these crises we've had to deal with in health, for the reasons you've just outlined, that I suppose the opportunity that has come out of all of that is that our scientific reputation is once again gaining positive reviews?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, many of your listeners may not be aware, but South Africa really punch above its weights on science. Yeah, as you highlighted, we did the first transplant of heart. We also developed what is a global use, the main scanners, the CAT scans. Yeah, We lead the world on the science of HIV, AIDS, of tuberculosis. When came a pandemic, we again led the world on not only discovery of variants, but also on the response. And it's really nice to see the country taking not only science very serious, but also the excitement on a lot of young people about thinking about taking scientific careers. I am here in Johannesburg. Yesterday we ran a large event with the Stellenbosch University alumni, and the excitement of people coming and thinking like, wow, that's what we want to do. We want to help South Africa with science to solve some of the biggest problems.
And that's why we thought, let's put you into the studio and tell a good news story about South Africa for a change. Professor Tulio de Oliveira, who is also, of course, one of the latest recipients of the Order of Mapungubwe in Gold. And listening to you, it's not hard to tell why. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much.
EWN Business.
Let's catch up with business news now, 29 minutes after 7 o'clock. Muteo Khoripe Fly Safair dropping its fuel surcharge by 40% from the peak levels last seen in March.
Yeah, so that means the prices are now close to what they were before the US and Israel attacked Iran in February. Fly Safair is reducing its fuel surcharge by 40% from the peak levels seen in March, making domestic and regional flights more affordable. The reduction comes as global jet fuel prices have stabilized and declined, while refining costs have also gone down. Now, between the 1st and the 29th of May, the global average of jet fuel prices dropped from $181 a barrel to about $141. Fuel surcharges are added to ticket prices to try and help airlines cover fluctuating fuel costs. So the price dropped by about 285 Rand per one-way ticket flight. Surcharges are dropped by more than 413 Rand. Imagine in 2 months, 413 Rand on that ticket price. So those are being slashed as the price of jet fuel goes down.
Old Mutual reporting strong first quarter.
Yeah, they're seeing a large increase in premiums. Old Mutual Limited reporting a 28% increase in life annual premium equivalents to 3.7 billion Rand for the quarter ended in March. Annual premium equivalents is a standardized metric used in the life insurance industry to measure new business sales. Excluding these particular transactions, the sales increased by 15% to the same period last year.
Your indicators?
Well, looking at the Rand, still quite in a decent position this morning. 16 Rand 32 against the US dollar, 18 Rand 96 against the euro, 21 Rand 91 cents against the British pound. Price of gold, $4,448 an ounce. Platinum, $1,884. Brent crude up 1% at $95 a barrel. More business after 8.
This Eyewitness News is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. And you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask them for 500 Rand. And Sfiso Zulu, the taller they come, the harder they fall.
That's right, Bongani. Good morning. It's news just in. Police have confirmed that suspended former head of organized crime Richard Shibiri has been fired. Shibiri has come under intense scrutiny over his association with alleged underworld figure Vusmuzi Ket Matlala after admitting before the Matlanga Commission that he received an 80,000 Rand loan from him. The former top cop also emerged as a central figure at the Commission of Inquiry that's been investigating alleged criminality and political interference within the criminal justice system. Police say Shibiri has brought the services into disrepute due to his links to Matlala. Taxi Association Santaco has apologized to commuters after its patrollers harassed passengers in the northwest. A video of the attack in Hebron has been widely shared on social media since it emerged this week. It's understood that the ordeal was triggered by a long-running dispute between local taxi associations and contracted bus operators along routes linking Northwest and Gauteng. Mongezi Koko has more.
Those are some of the sounds from the confrontation between taxi operators and fearful
for bus passengers. Santaco says taxi operators have raised concerns that some buses were allegedly operating outside agreed peak hour times and carrying both ticketed and cash-paying commuters. But the organization says no dispute justifies the intimidation or mistreatment of members of the public. It says talks involving taxi associations, provincial leadership and the Northwest Transport Department have already taken place. Santaco says the parties have agreed to work towards restoring stability and ensuring commuter safety. Monke Zikoko, Eyewitness News.
Please note the following story contains graphic details. Police have launched an investigation into the death of a man who was found hanging from a tree on the East Rand. Paramedics discovered the decomposed body yesterday at a reservoir in Eden Park. City of Ekurhuleni Emergency Services spokesperson Tiki McDonald says the circumstances around the death are unknown.
The circumstances surrounding the incident are alleged to be suicide, but this remains subjected to police confirmation. For life-threatening emergencies, contact the City of Ekurhuleni's Emergency Management Services.
And Western Cape Education MEC David Maynor says the province will press ahead with its legal challenge in the dismissal of Heathfield High School Principal Wesley Niemann. The department was yesterday granted leave to appeal a Labour court ruling that overturned the teacher's dismissal. During the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, Niemann refused to reopen the school, prompting his dismissal. The MEC says the court made multiple legal and factual errors when reviewing an arbitration award by the Education Labour Relations Council.
We will remain focused on the best interests of the learners of Heathfield High School. The school is flourishing and has produced a matric pass rate of 89.9%, the school's highest in 15 years.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures are at lows of 4 and 6 degrees, peaking at highs between 14 and 16.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N3 South. This is just as you approach the Kilulis interchange. That's due to roadworks there. There's also queuing traffic on the N1 North. This is just as you approach Winnie Mandela Drive. That's due to peak time delays there.
The breaking story this hour, police have confirmed that suspended former head of organised crime Richard Shibiri has now been fired.
If your home security company was becoming too expensive, you'd switch, right? So why pay more for car insurance? Switching to Outsurance saved 45-year-old Niven 461 Rand on his 2025 Volkswagen T-Cross. Get a quote now, and if Outsurance can't save you money, ask for 500 Rand or 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free with the same insurer for 3 years. Do it now. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
Mzansi, Takealot's senior cards, and boy have you been shopping. To say thank you for all your support, we're bringing you the Thanks a Lot sale. Get up to 60% off must-have beauty, sports gear, latest tech, TV and appliances, everyday essentials, toys and more. To know you is to spoil you. Shop the Takealot Thanks a Lot sale from 25 May to 7 June.
A bigger and better national lottery is here. Catch live draws every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturday on ETV and SABC at 9 p.m. Plus, all your favorite games, Lotto, Powerball, Daily Lotto, Match Play, E-Instant and Scratch Cards. Play online at retailers or on your banking apps. The National Lottery. Mo plays, mo chances, mo millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is operated by Sizek High.
Outsurance business insurance, the cost was far less. I even have better benefits.
Outsurance business insurance clients know that it pays to switch. And did you know you get 24/7 access to panic assistance, roadside assistance, and even office assistance for guest houses, catering companies, and all other businesses. Get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance business insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online. Limits apply.
702. WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Morning, Bongani, and to your guest, Professor De Oliveira. What a fantastic, positive interview for a change. Makes me feel very patriotic driving to work, and certainly dampens the, stops dampening the mood, I suppose, of all the negative stories we've had. Fantastic, fantastic interview. Thank you.
And that's exactly why we thought we'd throw him in, Professor Tulio de Oliveira. You remember, of course, that Omicron moment, I think it was December 2020, when that strain of the virus was identified here in South Africa because of the work that was being done in terms of our scientists and medical experts. And there was a huge overreaction. Flights from South Africa were not allowed because they thought we would now have this new dangerous strain. It turned out to be much ado about nothing. He's been involved in breakthrough work of all kinds, including, of course, importantly, around HIV/AIDS. And the idea that he says that in the very near future, we'll look at HIV/AIDS as a simple, manageable issue around public health and not quite the monstrous problem it once was. And I thought his example around load shedding was a good one. It used to be this monster, and now we barely remember it.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance. It's your chance to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First, 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then a little later, 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask Outsurance for 500 Rand. Today's answer comes from Hendrika. Hendrika, very good morning to you. What's today's answer, please?
Hi, good morning. The answer is 2004.
2004, Hendrika. And tell me, have you got yourself a quote from Outsurance?
Yes.
Your biscuit, 1,000 Rand is coming your way. All thanks to Outsurance and 702. Congratulations. Hendrika says the answer is 2004. What might be the question? Well, if you do know, call us now on 011 883 0702.
EWN Sport.
Out with the old, in with the new. Cindy Paluta.
Yep, so we've been speaking about it all week, and it's finally been confirmed, official, pen to paper. Liverpool unveiling Andoni Areola as their new head coach on a 2-year deal, replacing Arne Slot.
I think you don't need a lot of things to get attracted by Liverpool. No, Liverpool is Liverpool. Obviously, the atmosphere, the supporters, the club, the players, the chance for me to coach top-level players, the chance to fight for titles. I think it cannot be more attractive than this. It's difficult to find it, so really excited to start, yes.
Bafana's warm-up match with Jamaica has been moved to tomorrow and will be played behind closed doors. Banyana plays Japan as a WAFCON preparation. That's also tomorrow. Here's Tembi Khatlana, who's back from injury.
I've had a fairly chance of being injured this season, but I've been working a lot on coming back. I know football nowadays is a lot. We see the 2 games we have in Japan in 2 days, which is also a model that we're going to use in AFCON. So I think I'm also privileged to be here joining the team to see how I'm going to adapt and how also the players are going to adapt in WAFCON.
In tennis, Maja Kalinska made tennis history. She's the first qualifier to make the women's final at Roland Garros after beating Diana Schneider 7-6 and 6-4.
I feel like I'm in the bubble, I would say. I don't know what's going on. I'm just very happy to be here. Yeah, I just try to focus on every single match, give my all, and then after the tournament there will be time to kind of process it and breathe in, breathe out,
Kalinska will play Andriva in the final tomorrow after Andriva beat Kirstak 6-1, 6-3. Men's semi-finals today. First up, Zverev against Mensik. The late game on Aldi plays Koboli. Sevens rugby today. The Blitzboks go into the final leg of the World Championship. 4 points clear at the top of the overall standings. MP Fissa on being in Pool A with Great Britain, Kenya and Fiji.
GB will come at us again this weekend, and we know Kenya always comes at us. I think if we just play towards our potential and we uphold our standards, we can give them a decent score over this weekend. But I think it's just for us to go back to our basics, to focus on the things that we do well, the processes, and how we can implement that to the utmost best.
United Rugby Championship semi-finals tomorrow. The Stormers take on a full-strength Leinster. That's after the Bulls have played Glasgow Warriors. In T20 cricket, the Proteas women losing to Australia by 85 runs yesterday in a World Cup warm-up match. In Test cricket, New Zealand 61 for 6 at stumps on day 1 in reply to England's 140 at Lords. New Zealand's Jameis took 5 wickets. England's Robinson is on 4. And Pakistan got an ODI series win over Australia, winning the third ODI by 4 wickets. Pakistan chasing down 158 with 8 overs to spare. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Joburg is more than just a city. It's an energy that connects us all.
That's what makes this one so special.
In 702, Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the city of Johannesburg. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This week on MasterChef South Africa, the top 8 are going tropical. But before anyone gets too relaxed, it is Black Apron Day, and one home cook will be leaving the kitchen. Yep, this week on MasterChef South Africa, the contestants have to identify jelly spheres infused with different flavors. But with sight and touch taken out of the equation, they can only rely on taste and smell.
What we want you to do today is to make us a tropical-inspired dish where flavor and presentation hold equal weight. You have an open pantry and the most beautiful tropical island bits and bobs, leaves and flowers and coconut shells, and you have 75 minutes. Your time starts.
Whoa. Before she sets you off, there is one more thing. The flavors that you incorrectly identified will need to be the hero of the dish that you create today.
What do you mean I have to cook with tahini? Oh my gosh.
I love cooking with tahini, but I'm not on MasterChef. Catch MasterChef South Africa this Sunday at 6 p.m. on ETV or stream it on EVOD at watch.evod.co.za.
Chamberlain is now in the 4th generation and at 10 locations throughout Gauteng. Our differentiator is our long-serving and loyal staff, available and knowledgeable. Can we help you? Big on stock, strong on service, built on values. Chamberlain, famous for hardware since 1903.
EWN Traffic.
16 to 8, this EWN Traffic brought to you by the House of Citroen. The all-new Citroen Basalt is here. Book a test drive at citroen.co.za. Amo?
Well, Bongani, we've got heavy traffic volumes on the R24 East. This is due to an accident right after the Kiluli's interchange is causing delays. If you are traveling on the N12 as well as the R24 West, also do expect delays between Edenville Road and the Kiluli's interchange. Otherwise, on the Mark 1 North, we still have got that issue along the route right near Collett Drive due to a taxi that overturned in the left lane. There's also bumper-to-bumper traffic along the N1 South. This is now as you head towards the Four Ways area. This is between Rivonia Road and Winnie Mandela Drive. If you were traveling in the city of Tshwane, do expect delays on the N1 South coming out of the Flying Saucer interchange towards John Foster Drive. There's also queuing traffic on the N14 South approaching the Brackfontein interchange. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The all-new Citroen Basalt is here with keyless entry, wireless Apple and Android CarPlay. It's made to look good and make life easy. And that 470-litre boot, it's ready for every outfit change and then some. The all-new Citroen Basalt Coupe SUV from 354,000 Rand. Register now for limited launch deal assist of up to 40,000 Rand. Book a test drive today at citroen.co.za. T's and C's apply.
702.
What's the question?
For 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance, please tell me what's the question if today's answer is 2004. Let's go to Bongani. Bongani, what's the question?
The question is, in which year on this day did Asha become the first artist to have 3 simultaneous tracks on the Billboard Hot 100?
No, not quite.
Since the Bee Gees in 1978.
In the Billboard what? Yes, in the Hot 100. Yes, in the Hot 100, but specifically the top.
The top 10.
Yes, the top 10. The top
Yes,
10.
oh, yes.
These are very specific
Yes.
things, Bongosi.
Oh, hey,
It's a Friday. It's a Friday. We'll give it to you. 2,000 Rand. 2,000 Rand coming your way, all thanks to Outsurance. These days, of course, people can have 14 hits in the top 100. Just get your Swifties and their phones. Bob's your uncle. Asha did it when you still had to go to the shops, eh?
Same in your body, don't want you. But you know, gotta let it go. Cause the party ain't jumping like it used to. Oh no. Even though this might grow, let it burn. Ooh, gotta let it burn. Deep down, you know it's best for yourself. But you hate the thought of being with someone else. But you know that it's over. Somebody here, but I want you, cause the feeling ain't the same. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Hush, hush, hush. Let's go. Let's go. In the club with my homies, trying to get a little but down on the low key. You should know how it is. I saw the shorty, she was checking up on me. From the game, she was spitting in my ear. You would think that she knew me. Decided to cheat. Conversation got heavy. She had me feeling like she's ready to. Watch out! She's saying, come get me. So I got up and followed her to the floor. She said, baby, let's go. When I told her, I said, watch this. These are my confessions. Just when I thought I said all I can say, my chick on the side says she got one on the way. These are my confessions. Man, I'm thrown and I don't know what to do. I guess I gotta keep part two of my confessions. If I'm gonna tell it, then I gotta tell it all. Damn, they cried when I got that phone call. I'm so thrown, I don't know what to do but to keep part two of my confessions. Now this gonna be the hardest thing I think I ever had to do. Got me talking to myself, asking how I'm gonna tell you about that chick on part one I told y'all I was creeping with. Say she's 3 months pregnant and she's keeping it. The first thing that came to mind was you. Second thing was, how do I know if it's mine and is it true? Third thing was me wishing that I never did what I did. How I ain't ready for no kid and bye-bye to a relationship. These are my confessions. Just when I thought I said all I could say, my chick on the side said she got one. These are my confessions. Man, I'm thrown and I don't know what to do now. I guess I gotta keep part two of my confessions. If I'm gonna tell it, then I gotta tell it all. Damn, they cried when I got that phone call. I'm so I don't know what to do.
Oh man, what a year. 2004. Asha's Confessions, it got the same kind of vibe, or at least one I hadn't seen since Michael Jackson's Thriller. Didn't quite get to that stratospheric level, but did really, really well for him. 2004, where does the time go?
Outsurance can't improve your Bryce skills, but they could improve the car insurance premium you currently pay. Get a quote today, and if Outsurance can't save you money on your car insurance premium, ask for 500 Rand cash. Make that 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Get a quote and get savings or cash. Either way, you win. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance. Licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
The groundbreaking musical Nkoli, A Fierce and Fabulous Life, returns to the UJ Theatre. This is on the Kingsway campus in Auckland Park next weekend. Nkoli celebrating the life of Simon Nkoli, who was an anti-apartheid activist, an LGBT plus pioneer, AIDS activist, organizer of Joburg's first Pride March. Nkoli explodes on the stage, combining voguing, dance, rap, video projections. It's a powerful story of a remarkable young freedom fighter who changed South African history. There are 3 performances only next weekend of Nkoli at UJ's Theatre before it hits to Germany for its European premiere. Nkoli tickets available now on Quicket.
Hi, this is Teko Modise, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. Be a winner who knows when it's time for a timeout and play responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No person under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
Still shopping around for a saving here and a deal there? Choose Checkers, SA's #1 in value supermarket, and save on deals like Nescafe Gold Instant Coffee, 200 or 220 grams for $149.99. Save 50 Rand. Cadbury Chocolate Slabs, 150 grams, any two for 79 Rand. And Lovey's Ultra Value Pack Disposable Nappies for $149.99 per pack. Valid until 7 June, only at Checkers.
What if the problem you faced became the business that changed everything? That's what Nedbank Business Ignite on 702 is all about. This year's theme, My Pain, My Purpose, My Solution. And we're calling on small businesses that turned real challenges into powerful ideas. You could win 200,000 Rand in cash, plus mentorship, business support, and tools to help you grow sustainably. Enter the Nedbank Business Ignite on 702 now at primemediaplus.com or igniteyourbusiness.co.za. Nedbank, see money differently. An authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
702.
702. What's gone viral?
With Kabazela.
Time now for the world of viral content. Kabazela.
Good morning to you, Belle.
Ooh, both your stories touched me on my studio this morning, but let's start.
Okay.
Let's start with the keeping of your books. Let's start with the keeping of your books.
Okay, yeah, this is an interesting one. So there's this podcast called The Minimalists, and this guy is a real minimalist. If you go into his cupboard, he's just got black T-shirts. That's about it. He wants to minimalize his life as much as possible. So people then sent him this clip from Seinfeld, the TV show from many, many, many years ago, about keeping books. And I think if you walk into somebody's home and they have a whole bunch of books that are displayed in a book cabinet or somewhere lovely in the home, it always looks nice. It looks warm. And I suppose it's a nice sort of trophy cabinet to, hopefully display the books that you have read throughout your life. But the question here is, why keep the books once you've read them? Let's take a listen to the clip, shall we?
So many people sent me this TikTok video. This is of Jerry Seinfeld, and he has a problem with books.
Uh-oh.
So forget about the books. Did you read them?
Well, yeah.
What do you need them for?
I don't know. They're books.
What is this obsession people have with books? They put them in their houses like they're trophies. What do you need it for after you read it?
They're my books.
Of course, this isn't a prescription. I love the way that he asked the question because some people don't ever stop and think like, wait a minute, why do I hold on to all of these books?
It's a difficult one.
It is.
I even struggle sometimes buying books electronically, so sort of the books you read via e-readers, right?
Kindle or whatever.
Because I want when you come to my house, I want you to see my bookshelf. I want you to see what books I'm reading or have read.
Yeah. And the other thing is once you've read the books, you could, lend them out to people, or you could do swaps with others. But so let's ask that question this morning. What do you do with the books that you have read? Do you keep them? Do you display them? Do you think it's nice to have a book cabinet on show at home? And is there one particular book that you just won't let go of because you reread the book from time to time?
Do you keep books, old books that you've read? What's the point of keeping them if you have read them? I'm not sure if I could so easily part with my books. At least let me die and then others can have them. Kabazela, penmanship.
Penmanship. So this video, basically some clever genius has done a 3D printed machine and programmed it, and basically it can handwrite for you. So you program whatever you'd want and it'll write on paper with whatever pen you put in its little claws. Very clever, I must say. And the question here is, why would you want to do that? I mean, is handwriting not a beautiful thing? Do you not like to write on a piece of paper? Very related to the books, obviously. And I wanted to ask our 702 family, do you, on a daily basis now, in this art of technology, do you write from pen to paper? Every day, I must say, when we go into our planning meeting for the show for Afternoon Drive, I have my pen, my notepad, and I'm writing and I'm jotting ideas, etc., etc., etc. So every day I'm writing on pieces of paper.
I'm writing as we speak, Kabazela. Because often we'll listen to, say, 5 voice notes in a row.
Yes.
And I've got to remember what people are saying because, of course, we try to get through as many as we can.
Yeah.
And so I'm constantly writing even as I'm sitting here. I'm surrounded by gadgets, laptops, screens, but I even have a pencil and a sharpener. That's how much I still write on a daily basis. All right, do you write by hand on a daily basis, prefer to type, or do you have something handwritten that you treasure? And how good is your penmanship?
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask them for 500 Rand. Amo?
Well, Bongani, we've got delays on the M1 North between the Kilani Bends and Call It Drive. The good news is that accident has been cleared, but traffic remains heavily backed up there. We now also have roadworks along the same route, so please be on the lookout there and approach with care. More details coming up.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Seeing the Outsurance pointsman on your route is like that feeling you get when you hear your child's name at prize giving. It just makes you feel good. The Outsurance pointsmen are traffic heroes who ease congestion, helping everyone get to where they need to be quickly and safely, and they've done it for 20 years. Just another way you always get something out. In proud partnership with 702, Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
702
Feedback
with Siamtanda Matiso.
Siamtanda Matiso, both those questions.
Good morning.
Do you keep books you've read?
No,
Give them away?
I'm more digital when it comes to books these days. Even with writing, actually, I'm bad. Like, after a week, I can't see my own handwriting, so I type. I've noticed sometimes when you speak and we're planning in the meeting, you'll be like, you must say Mamela, and I'm like, no, I'm typing because I'll forget what I'm instead of writing. But also, you should have confessed, you don't just have a pen, a paper, and a sharpener. You have a whole pencil case with colors, the highlights.
I'm old school. I'm 4011. What other feedback do you have?
Listen, Bongs, I just want to remind the 702 landers, if you are calling into the show, please take us off loudspeaker because you are not audible. It's either there's an echoey sound or you sound very far from the mouthpiece. If me and Bapelile or Ropfiwa can't hear you, surely the listeners, once you go on air, can't hear you. So please be mindful of that. And also listen back to your voice notes. Stick to a minute-long voice notes. And that's just that. Also, Bongs, you did ask what are the items or behaviors that you wish could be banned at the event. And that's on the back of the United States banning things like vuvuzelas and horns and so forth. Listen, people who walk in late, please stop it. 702 landers don't like it. People who take pictures at events and stand in front of other people, they don't like that. But also, what I realize is that parents at children's play don't like it when you guys yell, scream, shout while the children are playing because they can't hear their kids performing. So I can't wait to hear more of the 702 reactions.
And of course, we'll read 1 or 2 comments as left on the YouTube page. A number of complaints there that we don't read them. We will. Patience.
This is EWN.
A top officer linked to an alleged crime boss has been fired, and arrests have been made in Mpumalanga in the wake of anti-immigration protests. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. It's the breaking story this hour. Police have confirmed that Major General Richard Shibiri has been fired. Shibiri was suspended last year in connection with allegations of criminal infiltration into the justice system following his testimony before the Matlanga Commission of Inquiry. Shibiri admitted to receiving receiving 70,000 rand loan from alleged underworld figure Vusmuzi Matlala, who's facing charges including attempted murder and fraud. He faced a lengthy disciplinary process, with the police saying that he's brought the services into disrepute. Mongezi Koko takes a look.
Last month, police raided Chibiri's home, seizing electronic devices as investigators expanded their probe into the former general. Chibiri previously served as Gauteng's head of organized crime before his appointment to lead the National Elite Organized Crime Unit. Today, police confirmed that internal disciplinary proceedings have concluded and that Chibiri has been found guilty of misconduct. Police spokesperson Athlenda Mate.
Major General Shibiri was found guilty of misconduct relating to conduct that brought the organization into disrepute, including associating himself with a known criminal.
The dismissal comes as Shibiri remains a central figure in the Madlanga Commission, which is probing alleged criminality and political interference within the criminal justice system. Monkey Ziko Eyewitness News.
At least 14 undocumented foreign nationals have been arrested during anti-illegal immigration protests in Emalahleni in Mpumalanga. About 1,500 people took part in the demonstrations yesterday. Law enforcement agencies were deployed to monitor the march, which ended with the organizers handing over a memorandum to the local municipality officers. The police's Donald Mduli says the march was without any major incidents, but he warns communities against taking the law into their own hands.
There were foreign nationals that were processed by the Department of Home Affairs, and it was during this time that it was discovered that 14 amongst them had no valid documentation to be in the country, as they were apprehended and charged accordingly.
Meanwhile, the ongoing migration issues have featured prominently during South Africa's bilateral talks with Kenya. President Cyril Ramaphosa hosted his Kenyan counterpart, William Ruto, at the Union Buildings for a state visit yesterday. High on the agenda was signing new bilateral memoranda of understanding and discussing methods to improve trade relations. However, migration issues were also raised during the meeting. Alfred Mushwana was there.
Over the past few weeks, several groups have taken to the streets to voice concerns about illegal migration by some African nationals into South Africa. The protests have prompted some African countries, including Ghana and Mozambique, to arrange transport for citizens who wish to return home. However, President Cyril Ramaphosa has reassured Kenyan President William Ruto that there is nothing to worry about.
You and I also took time to deal with the challenges that we as South Africa are facing with regard to migration. And we dealt with that, and we sought to understand the causes of migration and how best all countries on the continent can work together.
The two countries have a migration agreement in place, with South Africa granting Kenyan passport holders visa-free access for stays up to 90 days. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, at the Union Buildings in Pretoria.
And the New Lane corruption case linked to the controversial Gupta brothers is set to resume in September after the NPA re-enrolled the matter. The move follows a Supreme Court of Appeal ruling that overturned the 2023 acquittals and cleared the way for the prosecution to proceed. At the center of the case are allegations that 24.9 million rand was paid to New Lane Investments for a feasibility study that helped pave the way for the controversial Estina Frieda Dairy Farm project. The matter is also one of two cases in which South Africa failed to secure an extradition of Atul Gupta and Rajesh from the UAE. NPA spokesperson Henry Mamutame.
The investigating directorate against corruption has re-enrolled the New Lane corruption case at the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court. This follows the acquittal of the accused by the Bloemfontein High Court, to which IDEC filed an appeal, which yielded a positive outcome. The case was postponed to 22 September 2026 for the disclosure of the docket.
Gold is trading at $4,447.57 an ounce. The rand is at 16.34 to the dollar, 21.94 to the pound, 18.98 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $95.42 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N3 North. This is between the Elands interchange and the Gilulis interchange. There's also queuing traffic along the Makwa North. This is between the Kilani Bends and Corlett Drive.
In your sport, all players left at Roland Garros have never won a Grand Slam. Today's the men's semi-finals. Bafana's friendly with Jamaica moved to tomorrow. Liverpool officially confirmed Andoni Areola as manager. Big weekend of rugby with the Blitzboks going for the World Championship, while in the URC, both the Bulls and Stormers on the road in their semi-final matches. And the Las Vegas Formula One stays on the calendar for the next 10 years.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 14 and 16 degrees. The breaking story in EWN this hour. Police have confirmed that Major General Richard Shibiri has been fired.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
On Sunday, 26 July, 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk unites us all in the iconic Joburg CBD. 702 Walk the Talk. Abize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
7 minutes after 8 o'clock, you're listening to 702 Breakfast on this Friday. I mean, how quickly are things turning, the wheels of justice, as it were, when it comes to what we have heard at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry? Major General Richard Shibiri fired. Do you remember when he was under cross-examination and he was challenged as presenting second-hand hearsay information as fact? And then he said, well, no, you see, evidence leader, you are trying to trick me. Suspended last year, of course, in connection with allegations of criminal infiltration into the justice system. He admitted to receiving a 70,000 Rand loan from Vusumuzi Kat Matlala, who is facing charges of attempted murder and fraud. He faced a lengthy disciplinary process with the police, saying he's brought the service into disrepute because of his links to Matlala. Have a listen to that moment where he, under cross-examination, was struggling, really, I suppose, to tell fact from fiction.
That is what you've been told, according to you. We are on the same page.
No,
I'm just
tricking me again.
I'm really not tricking you, General. I think it's because I'm in agreement with you that you think I'm tricking you.
I said I was told information. So if you say I know is something else, it's different. I don't know. That is my understanding.
But General, if you are told something, then you know it. Somebody tells you something, you know it. That's all. I think you think I'm tricking you because I'm in agreement with you. Yeah. I'm just trying to clarify what your evidence is so that we know going forward that you are saying that in December when you are speaking to witness A, you are telling witness A that Molefe is linked to Mswazi, but you didn't know that it was Molefe in May 2024.
Yeah, blame my tutors. They said what you know or knowledge is what you have experienced.
Okay, let's move on, Jim.
Shame. Evidence leader there, advocate Lee Seagills Ngube, asking the now fired Major General Richard Shibiri some tough questions.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Don't forget, coming up in this next hour, a chance for you to walk away with 5,000 Rand courtesy of My Way. It's not happening now, not just yet. We will give you a chance a little later on as far as that is concerned. We asked the question earlier, what are those items or even behavior you would like to see banned in public? That comes in the wake of FIFA, or at least the 2026 FIFA World Cup, banning all sorts of things, including refillable plastic bottles. They don't want you to bring your duffel bags, your sacks, your bags. They certainly don't want you to bring your vuvuzelas. Can we say the quiet part out loud? 2010 was festive for all the reasons we remember it, but yay, that thing is loud.
At the stadium.
It's loud. Maybe in 2010 I could tolerate it. It's 15 years of my life.
People will be sitting there in silence, watching the game.
days of my life I will never get
afraid
back.
to celebrate because there's. Alright, guys.
So what would you like to see banned in public gatherings a la FIFA? Kabazela wants to know if you've read the book, why don't you move it on? Give it to somebody else. Donate it to a library. Give it to an old age home. You've read it. Why do you keep it?
Because I want to go back to it every now and again. And the same way that I find it difficult to delete the books that I've bought on my Apple Books. So after reading the book, I keep it. I can't delete it. I don't know why. I just have to have it there in my book collection on my phone.
I'm part of a book club, and I have a section on my study shelf where I've got, in fact, I'm running out of space, where I've got all the book club books that we've read over the years.
Mhm.
And that's not counting the ones I've got electronically, because let's say they were out of print here in South Africa, etc. But part of the reason I keep books is when Amo Ramila and Muteo Kharipe
Mm.
come to my house, they must see what books I've read.
Because sometimes that also inspires a certain
Yes.
discussion, no?
They must go, oh, okay. Oh, you've got this book. It's a point of pride, is it not?
I think it is, but also I think a lot of people that read and buy books have also been burnt. You know, you share the knowledge with someone with the understanding that they'll return the book and
It never
next thing
comes
you
back.
know-
Yeah, it never
Yeah.
comes back.
But there's something delicious about being able to go back and say, "Oh, I remember this quote," and looking
Yeah,
for it
revisiting
and
chapters
being
is
able
amazing.
to come back to it. The other question Kabazara wants to know is, how much do you still use pen and paper every day, or is everything you write now all typed? How good is your handwriting, Mateo? Would we be able to read it?
Yeah, we did training with the team just a few days ago, and I was asked to scribe. And yeah, I think
And for the first time in years, do you remember how to do it?
Yeah.
I write every day. I've got a pen and paper with me all
Same.
the time. Amma always steals my pens, so she writes
I
every day.
borrow the pens, and I have a beautiful handwriting, just by the way, if I had to say so myself.
And just like the books, the pens never come back.
Good morning, Bongani. My children tried to convince me to join this paperless world of not writing, but they failed dismally. I like writing. I write all the time to an extent that I have different pens that I use to write different things. So I write all the time. So I can't imagine a life without not writing anything. And about books, well, generally I hoard stuff. So I keep all my books. And I remember one old relative walked into my study and he saw all the books on the bookshelf. Then he said, "Oh, come to library." So I keep all my books. Kabelen, Pretoria.
Good morning, Bongani and Kabazela. Well, I do write, but not as often as some other people, and my handwriting is not that good. Well, we have a financial director that writes everything. Now we are going into salary negotiations. He takes our pens, our notepads, and he writes all over them and everything. And then he forgets which one he wrote on, and then he makes notes and he talks through them. Yeah, that man can write.
A number of responses also coming through our YouTube comment line. Vusumuzi Matlala, Vusi Matlala is now an unofficial state witness, somebody says. He is talking and telling them everything. He is now a rat, one person suggests. Amo, a lovely comment for you from Faith, who says Amo is definitely not camera shy. She's professional and very confident. I just love her. And someone else says, Kubi there by Saps. More are yet to be fired. The era of paid vacations disguised as suspensions must come to an end. Taxpayers have carried that burden for far too long. Saps cleanup is, and 3 emojis of fire.
Let's talk.
We're listening.
Morning to everyone. It's Jose from Pretoria. I definitely keep my books. I have a plethora of them now. The entire point, it's a collection. It shows what you have inside your brain. You know, instead of just saying I read this book and read that book, you have a shelf that's displaying all the books you've read, and it shows what you know. But besides that, I also collect documentaries. I love history and military history, so I have all these documentaries from, I think, the First World War, all wars that happened on our planet until now. You know, and generally, it's something that I would love to leave for my kids. I have a daughter now, But yeah, if I have more kids later, they will have my brain or what I know, in physical form. That's why I keep all of this.
Morning, Bongani and team. Cabazela's thing on the books, very funny. I am a book freak. I had a lot of books, and I thought I can't keep. I've been moving a bit, so I can't keep all these books. So I donated them to library, and I kept about 25 books that were special to me, that are special to me. And as for penmanship, yes, I do still put pen to paper every day. Although my cursive writing, I wouldn't say is fantastic. So I generally print. Yeah, that's what I do. I'm very old-fashioned. Sarah from How to Be a Sport.
Bongani and the team in Kabazela. Coming to Kabazela's case, keeping books. There's a book to me that has always been a yardstick on everything that we face in our country. The Vosi Pigoli, My Second Initiation. That's a book I always refer to, more especially when it comes to his cases, and everything by Mandy Wynne. I keep it because it tends to come back in a different version. It always comes back. So it becomes a very good referral on my side. That book by Vosi Pigoli, written by Mandy Wynne and Mandy Wynne again. Yeah, they'll always be my referral. Andy Lay in Breakendowns. Thank you.
Good morning, Bongani and 702 Land. Love the question about books, and do you keep them? Do you store them? Do you display them? As a very proud bibliophile, I keep all of the books I read. I love displaying them on my bookshelves everywhere throughout my home. And on the flip side of the coin, some of them can become quite valuable. I've got a couple of Harry Potter first edition, first prints. So yes, great question. Thank you.
Bongani. Ukabazela uthi you must lend your books to other people when you're done reading them and not just leave them on the bookshelf. Has he seen what people do to books that don't belong to them? No, thank you. They stay on my bookshelf. I go back and read them over and over again. The same way that people watch series and watch movies over and over again, I do that with books. Every time I reread it, I discover something new. And every room in my house has a bookshelf, big or small, and has a book so that when I have visitors, they can grab a book, read it while at my house. When they leave the book.
It's to whet their appetite, is it not? All right, riddle me this and tell me if you will judge me, Amo and Muteo. I'm also one of those people who, as you heard from Siamtanda a little earlier on, I've got pencils, I've got pens, I've got highlighters. I highlight the things that jump out at me. I write questions in there, my thoughts. So even if you were to get a copy of a title I once owned, you would know or almost go through that experience with me because I've left notes in the book. Apparently, remember when we were growing up, we were told never to write inside a book. And I'm like, no, but it's mine. Do you judge me for that?
I don't judge you for that, although I don't do it myself. I actually, when I read a book, which is, which captures me like that, I actually have a notepad on the side that I take notes about. And I have a specific diary for the books that I've read, which I, take the notes. But on my Apple Books, which is why I love I can highlight and add a note on the side because it's a soft copy.
So one of the review mechanisms we use at Book Club is people keep quotes. Once we've gone through the themes and, the important discussions around the book, you have to have your quotes. You have to have that moment that you thought,
this
everybody
was
has
the
to.
book.
And everybody, we jealously, no, can I go for my quotes? No, I've got a quote and I've got a quote. And so that's how you market, and that's why you market.
You know why I think that's special? And you might think maybe you're messing up the book. But years later when, Abazurgulu Bakwa are reading through the books that you've read and things that you've written, they will know the
questions I was seized with.
Yeah. And maybe they're seized with the same questions. Then you've written notes on how to figure out life in those books. So it's special.
So much drama on a Friday.
Good morning, Bongani and team. Happy Friday. Oh, no, I don't give away my books after I've read them. I have bookshelves to display my books, but the main reason is that I sometimes go back to those books. The main one that I've kept going back is The Sanctuary, written by Krista Kulian. I mean, it's about the inner city and the church, the Methodist Church. So I don't give away my books because I go back and reread them. And also to show people what I have read. Oh, lastly, my handwriting is the best, Bongani. I still have pen, paper, pencil, rubber, ruler, color pencils, highlighters, and all that. And I love using my hand, doing handwriting.
You had to have a good handwriting if you wanted to pass, particularly if you were in the essay writing streams, right, where you had to write long things, not just calculating things. So my penmanship is still pretty good, I would say.
EWN Traffic.
22 after 8. This EWN Traffic brought to you by GWM, class-leading vehicles that help you navigate your journey. Let's go to the R24 East. There are delays in that part of town, Amo.
Yes, Bongani, that's due to an earlier accident near Edenville Road. Delays coming out of the Gilulis interchange as a result. If you're traveling in Pomona, Kempton Park, an accident right near the Atlas Road exit causing delays as well. There's also queuing traffic reported on the M1 South, that is between the Baku interchange and Marlborough Drive. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Another fuel hike means more adjustments, like using every loyalty point just to get by.
Okay, use the points first, then this voucher. Wait, I have a coupon on my app for the bread. And then I'll swipe the remaining R2, please.
Don't let the fuel hikes restrict you. Get 5,000 Rand for fuel when you buy any GWM vehicle this month. Visit your nearest dealership or go to gwm.co.za to book a test drive. T's and C's apply. GWM. Go with more.
702. The World View
with Adam Gilchrist.
Catch up with news from elsewhere in the world. Adam, we're just, days now away from the opening game of the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
Yeah, if anyone does read a book and find out the meaning of life, please send it to Gianni Infantino, the FIFA boss. He seems to have lost the plot with this particular World Cup. If the football is great, I guess ultimately we won't care, but there are plenty of fans who'll be going who will. So we've already got 2 US attorney generals investigating the price hiking of these tickets. Often you don't know what you're paying for your ticket until you get to the end in the box and it says, oh, by the way, this is going to cost you X number of hundreds of dollars. Prices from $380 up to $4,000. There's quite a discrepancy there. $33,000 for a ticket for the final. And in some cases, fans are finding that their mate who's sitting in the next door seat has paid 50% more or 50% less. There's no way of knowing because there's no declared pricing structure. 6 days to go. There are falling prices, not for Mexico against South Africa, but generally for some of the smaller nations, certainly. Fluctuating availability. Gianni Infantino, the FIFA boss, told us weeks ago that all the tickets were sold out. Not true. I think somebody at FIFA repeated it yesterday. There are many thousands, as far as we can tell, that are unsold. It's difficult actually to see. Even across FIFA's own resale site, some of the ticket prices have come down for the smaller matches featuring smaller nations. It is, let's think of a word, fiasco, shambles, chaos. But if the football's great, I guess that'll take over.
No one's ever accused FIFA of being a little mafia at all, Adam. We won't go there. Let's go now to a story about secret Chinese espionage. What's this about?
Yeah, a lot mafia. This is China is accused of spying on government and military staff through fake job ads on what look like absolutely well-known sites. In some cases are well-known sites like LinkedIn or Indeed. And the job ad may not be all it appears to be. So security agencies in the Five Eyes Alliance, as it's called, that's the UK, US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, they say that people are being lured to these fake job ads where Chinese agents are sifting through applicants' CVs to identify candidates who might be worth exploiting, who might give away too much or be paid to give away too much. So we know that workers targeted include those in medium to high range security clearance, people in government roles, defense academics, even think tank employees. The idea is you load in some info, they ask you for a bit more and then a bit more. And then maybe they even start offering to pay you. A spokesperson for the Chinese embassy in London, by the way, has condemned the warning, saying all these accusations are purely false and malicious slander, but they do that in the world of espionage, and so would MI5, frankly, deny all knowledge.
Phones, keys, even a water bottle. These are things I've lost in an Uber. Adam?
Yeah, an umbrella, I'm thinking. It would be quite a common one in the UK anyway. So Uber America has come up with its list of unusual things left in the back of their cabs. I think probably the most unusual thing left in the back of an Uber would probably be cash. Do you think? Who has cash? Anyway, Sunday is also the most forgetful day. I wonder if that's true globally as well as in the United States. Among the most unusual items, an ankle monitor, as in something issued by a court. A meat slicer, I hope that didn't go with the ankle monitor, some breast milk, a package of live butterflies, some sort of zeitgeist things of the moment, like Ozempic jabs, Labubu dolls, vapes, teeth veneers. Why would you not notice? And croc sandals. We know that sometimes people have lost prosthetic legs and arms on the London Underground. Again, would you not notice? Uber in the States, though, the all-time list of weird forgotten items include a lobster, 500 grams of caviar, which is pretty pricey, a stuffed rabbit, divorce papers, and a fake butt. Again, I wonder if the divorce papers and the fake butt went together.
How do you lose your teeth veneers? Yeah, let's just...
And your bottom.
Let's just leave it
Top
at
and bottom.
that. Adam Gilchrist with this morning's Worldview.
EWN Business.
Let's wrap up the morning's business news on a Friday. Muteo Khoripe, India holding interest rates. Many economies remaining under higher fuel price pressures. They've decided to do nothing for the moment.
Wait and see and hope for the best. India's central bank has held interest rates this morning at 5.25% at a time when surging global energy costs have hammered its currency, while the Iran war risks accelerating inflation in the country. Now, the measures come against the backdrop of sustained pressure on the Indian rupee, which is the currency in India, which has weakened more than 6% this year, making it the second worst performing Asian currency year to date. The Reserve Bank of India was widely expected to keep rates steady, as per economists polled by both Reuters and CNBC. The Reserve Bank of India raised its inflation projection, though, for the financial year ending March 2027 by 50 basis points to 5.1%. So those prices definitely going up globally, and many economies finding ways to manage their own situations.
We recently spoke to NDZ, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. This is, of course, the veteran South African politician who was recently in India looking at kids getting jobs and training at a factory. Should we send one Reserve Bank governor their way?
To hold rates?
10 rupee, by the way, will get you R1.70 this morning, in case you wanted to know.
And you need 95 rupees to get $1, so that just gives you perspective.
Let's talk about FlySafe Air.
Yeah, prices being slashed there. The fuel surcharge down by 40%, so prices are close to what they were before the US and Israel attacked Iran in February. FlySafe Air has reduced its fuel surcharge. The reduction comes as global jet fuel prices have stabilized and also gone down in some parts. So between the 1st and the 29th of May, the global average of jet fuel prices are dropped from $181 a barrel to about $141. Fuel surcharges are added to ticket prices to help airlines cover fluctuating fuel costs. Prices dropped by up to 285 Rand per one-way ticket flight, and surcharges dropped by 413 Rand per flight, while flights to Zanzibar were down by 350 Rand. So more of that, please.
Your indicators?
Well, the Rand at this hour, 16 Rand 32 against the US dollar, and slight weakness this morning, 18 Rand 96 against the Euro, 21 Rand 92 against the British Pound. Price of gold also in the red this morning, $4,437 an ounce, while platinum is at $1,878. Brent crude up 1% at $95 a barrel. Stephen Crotis with the wrap of the week's business later this afternoon.
The time check exactly 8:30, and coming up in the next half an hour, the lovely songbird Nomfundo Aluva in studio with us. And Sfiso Zulu, news just in.
That's right, Bongani. Good morning. Minister on special leave, Senzo Mkunu's lawyers have written to Parliament's ad hoc committee that's been investigating police corruption to object to his first report, which has made adverse findings against him. Mkhunu says the ad hoc committee and evidence leaders have already made up their minds about his guilt. Mkhunu says the ad hoc committee has preempted the process when it presented its findings in evidentiary report without giving a right of reply. The committee met last night to receive another representation following the submission of evidence leader Norman Arendse's evidentiary report last month. The draft report by Arendse found that Senzo Mkhunu acted unconstitutionally and misled Parliament when he ordered the disbandment of the political killings task team. A subcommittee reviewing the rules of the National Assembly has provisionally adopted a new set of rules that will guide the work of Parliament's Section 89 inquiry that will probe alleged misconduct by the President. It follows last month's Constitutional Court order that Parliament establish an impeachment committee to investigate matters related to President Ramaphosa's Phalaphala farm after the National Assembly had declined to do so. Chairperson of the subcommittee, Doris Mpapane, says the rules-making process does not deter the impeachment committee from laying the groundwork for the inquiry. Lindsay Tentlinka reports.
Last night, tempers flared at times as the MK party sought assurances from the committee that the rules-making process won't stall the start of the impeachment inquiry. Following inputs from political parties on the process, the subcommittee was presented with a 39-page document proposing detailed rules and guidelines for a Section 89 inquiry. External legal counsel Andrew Breitenbach advised that the impeachment committee not begin leading witness testimony until firm rules are in place, but this did not satisfy the MKP's Maswanele Manyi.
My biggest discomfort with this detail is that I think it is a micromanagement of the impeachment committee.
The subcommittee could not agree on a proposal from the DA that only MPs considered fit and proper serve on the impeachment committee. The subcommittee agreed to obtain an external legal opinion on this matter. In the meantime, the proposed rules will be tabled before the Rules Committee next week for consideration before being sent to the National Assembly for final approval. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
And President Cyril Ramaphosa is set to officially launch South Africa's rollout of a groundbreaking HIV prevention injection today. The launch of lenacapavir in Secunda, Mpumalanga marks a major step in the country's efforts to curb new HIV infections. The long-acting injection is administered just twice a year and has been hailed by experts as a potential game changer in the global fight against HIV. Mongezi Koko takes a look.
South Africa has the largest HIV treatment program in the world, but health officials have long warned that preventing new infections remains critical to ending the epidemic. Unlike daily prevention pills, pre-exposure prophylaxis, aka PrEP, lenacapavir is given every 6 months, which is a development that the health department believes could improve adherence and expand access to HIV prevention. President Cyril Ramaphosa will be joined by Health Minister Aaron Motsoaledi, Mpumalanga Premier Mandla Ndlovu, civil society leaders and international partners, including the Global Fund. The rollout is being hailed as an important milestone in the Republic's drive to eliminate HIV as a public health threat. Mongezi Koko, Eyewitness News.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 14 and 16 degrees.
And in the traffic in Kaasand, there's been an accident on Malibongwe Drive right near Northumberland Avenue causing heavy delays. There's also queuing traffic on the N1 north towards Winnie Mandela Drive. Please be on the lookout there.
The breaking story this hour. Minister on special leave, Senzo Mkhunu's lawyers have written to Parliament's ad hoc committee that's been investigating police corruption to object to its first report, which made adverse findings against the minister.
Hi South Africa, I'm Michael Owen. If you appreciate world-class sport and a great occasion, the Hollywood Bets Durban July is the place to be. The theme for 2026 is Country Allure, which sees the rustic style of the countryside meet the cosmopolitan cool of the city. On Saturday the 4th of July, it all comes together at Hollywood Bets Greyville, Africa's greatest horse racing and social event. I'll see you there.
702 Josie, my Josie, Walk the Talk is calling on you to walk with the people, for the people. Sunday, 26 July, Babize Bonke. And this year, you can choose from 3 different inner city routes. The 15-kilometer Mandela Bridge route takes you from Ellis Park through town up through Constitution Hills Precinct, down to Bromfontein and over the Mandela Bridge. So whether you're walking 15, 5 or 8 kilometers, enter now at primemediaplus.com and get ready for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the City of Johannesburg.
Let's count backward. 5, insurance. 4, pineapple. 3, insurance. 2, pineapple. 1, you're under.
Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
What if the problem you faced became the business that changed everything? That's what Nedbank Business Ignite on 702 is all about. This year's theme, My Pain, My Purpose, My Solution. We're calling on small businesses that turned real challenges into powerful ideas. 200,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. You'll get mentorship, business support, and tools to help you grow sustainably. Enter the Nedbank Business Ignite on 702 now at primemediaplus.com or igniteyourbusiness.co.za. Nedbank, see money differently. An authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Hi, Bongs. I keep books because I like to go back to it. My wife once sold the Bang Bang Club book, and I went and bought it again because I wanted to read it again. Yeah, thanks. It's Faisal from Rudaport.
Hi, Bongani. The reason why I like bookshelves, I like keeping one, and I like someone else having a bookshelf, is because I think books are a way of getting to know another person. If I can see what is in your bookshelf, I can sort of assume the type of person that you are and the kinds of interests that you have. And I assume that it's the same with me, that you look at my books and sort of assume what my interests are. And that can be a great conversation starter. Thank you.
Good morning, 702 and 702 lenders. With regards to books, I have a problem with people who display books in a sitting room where it's meant to be an environment that relaxes you and you don't have to think about work or anything. So it sort of triggers me, especially you find people putting on business, economics books and things like that. So that's what I have a problem with. But I don't mind books in a study room, well placed on a bookshelf, because then it allows the environment to be that serious and also to trigger the mind to say, now this is real business. You need to log in and focus. So that's why I keep my books, and it's also important, where do you place them in the house? Benjamin.
Benjamin doesn't want to see the textbooks. They're a trigger. Pictorials are also great. You need a good couple of pictorials on your coffee tables. That's certainly one. What to do with the books you have read. Cindy Paluta, you're just giving them all away, you say?
I'm glad we're having this conversation, because what do we do? My mom said the other day she's still got my brother's engineering textbooks from university and I think he finished university 2001, 2002. Those things are probably where do the books go?
Yeah.
And then I've also got a full set of everybody.
World Book Encyclopedia.
Britannica. The children's version. I mean, okay, I get it. Facts are facts about animals. It's not like a bird suddenly has 9 wings, but when it was born with 2. But what do we do with all that stuff? It feels like a sin to throw it away or recycle it. So
you can always give it to a library, I suppose.
No. So I took
no, they don't want them?
a How It Works series that was released in the 80s, and it was this beautiful biology series, and I took it to the library and they said, okay, the lady went, okay, thanks. You could see her face, like, here we go. She said, I do have somebody else that will come and collect them. And I was just like...
She wasn't interested.
She took them, but... I don't think librarians themselves know what to do with all our encyclopedias from the 80s.
EWN Sport.
I was struck by something you said an hour ago, that the French Open champion, both the men's and the ladies champion, will be somebody new for the very first time.
Yeah. So today you've got the men's semi-finals, and the 4 men all competing have never won a Grand Slam, and the 2 women in the ladies' finals, it was the same at the semi-final, have never won a Grand Slam. So it's going to be...
How exciting has this been?
It's so exciting and heartbreaking at the same time for the runner-up, but to be that close, I think, is absolutely amazing. So today, I think the good money would be on Zverev. I don't want to say that because he is.
You just never listen. After Sabalenka the other day, I was watching, and I highly recommend this to you, Cindy, and anybody who's a tennis fan. The former player Andy Roddick has a podcast, and he was interviewing Rafa Nadal, whose birthday it was just the other day, and of course, the all-time French Open great. And it was just so interesting to listen to his perspective about both the time he was still playing and his views right now. But this has been a fantastic tournament.
I'll go listen to that. Andy Roddick interviewing Rafael Nadal.
Yeah, and they talk about their game and how Andy won their first encounter, and he thought this guy's probably still got about 2 or 3 years because Andy was more established. And he thought, I'll give him about 2 or 3 years. He's definitely got potential. They played 10 weeks later, and Andy Roddick didn't know what hit him.
Wow, so today is Zverev against Mensik at 2:30 in the first men's semi-final. Later, Arnoldi against Kaboli. Yesterday, Kwalinska made history as the first qualifier to make the women's final, where she plays Mira Andreeva. Here's Andreeva, who beat Kostiak 6-1, 6-3.
First of all, super happy with the way I played today. Then I'm happy that I got a revenge from Madrid final. And then as well, I'm happy that I'm in my first ever Grand Slam final. So it's amazing. I've never felt anything like this before. And I'm just very excited about the last match here in Paris.
This time next week, the first match of the FIFA World Cup will be out the way, and that game will be Bafana against Mexico. Bafana was scheduled to play Jamaica in a friendly today. It's been moved to tomorrow, and it won't be screened anywhere. It's been playing behind closed doors. Also tomorrow, Banyana playing Japan in a friendly as preparation for WAFCON, while overnight Liverpool unveiled Andoni Areola as a head coach on a 2-year deal. The Blitzboks, 1 series away from winning the Sevens World Championship. This is a 3-leg championship separate from the overall 7 series. Blitzboks, who top the overall table, are in Pool A today, playing Great Britain and Kenya, and tomorrow Fiji. United Rugby Championship semi-finals, both South African sides on the road. The Bulls are at Glasgow Warriors at 3:30, and at 6:30 the Stormers against the defending champions Leinster. That's tomorrow. In T20 cricket, the Women's World Cup starts next week. Yesterday, the Proteas lost to Australia by 85 runs in a warm-up. They play Ireland tomorrow. In Test cricket, New Zealand will resume day 2 on 61 for 6 at Lords in reply to England's 140. New Zealand's Jamieson has taken 5 wickets. England's Robertson is there on 4. Pakistan also getting an ODI series win over Australia yesterday. They won their 3rd ODI by 4 wickets. And the Formula One will race in Las Vegas for at least the next 10 years after extending the contract with the city. Formula One is in Monaco this weekend, while the MotoGP's in Hungary. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
Thank you, Cindy, for that sports wrap-up. And from one wrap-up to another, Amo?
Well, Bongani, we've got delays in Kaya Sand along Maliwongo Drive, and major accident seen right near Boundary Road, causing delays coming out of Northumberland Avenue. There's also queuing traffic reported on the N1 North in the Sunning Hill area, approaching the Baklu interchange. While traveling on the M1 South, roadworks are taking place right near Marlborough Drive. Delays from the Baklu interchange. Traveling in the Bedfordview area, we've got more delays due to more roadworks taking place along the N3 North, right near the Kilulis interchange. Delays from Van Buren Road. And then in the city of Tshwane, some issues being reported in a Centurion along the R101 approaching Weirder Road. Please be on the lookout there. More updates at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Smart Steve from Momentum. Hello.
Steve, you moved to Momentum. Congrats.
Thanks.
It's Tasha. Listen, the fast-paced life in Josie just isn't working for me. I'm migrating to the Cape.
What does that have to do with life insurance?
Well, you know I love a glass or 3. And I want to age as graciously as a smooth Merlot, not a box of cardboard dough.
Naturally.
And I need my critical illness cover to pair with those chill vibes.
Of course. With Momentum, you get the most comprehensive critical illness cover in the market. You could say it's a full-bodied offering.
I'll toast to that.
Chat to your financial advisor about Momentum's critical illness cover. Momentum, protecting your journey to success. Momentum is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
I heard she's got a recruiter team working 24/7.
That one, she has a secret supply of talent.
I knew it. She's definitely keeping a secret from us.
Nothing mysterious, guys. It's SA Youth, South Africa's largest youth online recruitment platform. Fast to post, effortless to use, and effective every time.
Recruit on the portal to potential. sayouth.co.za. Powering South Africa's youth workforce.
Your office is more than just a place to work. It's a reflection of your success. At Desk and Chair, we help you elevate your workspace with locally manufactured desks and a wide range of chairs to suit your style and budget. Our expert consultants are with you every step of the way, from planning to delivery and assembly. Visit our showroom in Midrand or shop online at deskandchair.co.za. Desk and Chair. Think, feel, work better.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
What central banks tend to do and what our Reserve Bank does is through the setting of interest rates. Is that the only tool?
When you've got a supply shock, like for example, to say, listen, there's an oil price increase and now we've got to increase interest rates as well. That hurts. But when you're saying, look, we are willing to act and we are willing to move up interest rates because we don't want inflation to increase, that's sending a very powerful message through the economy.
Professor Evan Maria, the fixed income portfolio manager.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Curtis is brought to you by Absa Business Banking, featuring the AgriTrends 2026 Autumn Edition. In agriculture, smart moves need smart insights. Get the latest AgriTrends report at absaagritrends.co.za. Absa is a registered FSP.
Coming up
on the Clement Manyatela Show
on 702.
It's a Friday, and my favorite Clement Manyatela show. Not that I don't like the others, but what's in the show this morning?
Well, let's start with your favorite feature.
Yes.
At 11 o'clock.
Adult
the sex
radio.
and relationship feature.
Adult radio.
Yes, if you want to call it that.
Did you see Bafana's only fan?
What do you mean?
There's a little boy
who
went to go sign T-shirts with the Bafana team, and they're saying he's their only fan.
No, don't do that to that poor boy, please. Call him something else but that, please. So, Bongani's favorite feature, the adult feature at 11 o'clock. Today, we're going to do a conversation. It's actually part 2 of the conversation on how to navigate age gaps in relationships. Is this something that you think about a lot?
I'd say what people must navigate is sleeping gaps.
Between partners?
So I have to go to bed at 7:30.
Yeah.
What does that look like when I'm with someone who only winds down at 11 or 12 midnight?
Oh, when you get up at 2
never
a.m.
see
or
each
3
other.
a.m. in the morning.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
There's a topic. So maybe we'll do that next week. But today we're going to be talking about huge age gaps in relationships, how to navigate that. And then, but at 10 o'clock, we're going to do our Across the Desk feature. And today, I'm going to be hosting people who manage radio stations, program managers and station managers. So if you want to know how difficult it is to manage a Bongani Bingwa, don't miss that conversation at 10 o'clock. His bosses will be there.
They love me.
And then we start the show with the 702 open line. We'll be reflecting on the breaking news about Richard Shibiri, who has now been fired. And we'll also talk about Tupperware because it's now officially back.
And there's the minister on special leave. All of that and more on Clement Manyatela between 9 and 12.
Save up to 40,
Now, I did say, when you hear that song, and only when you hear that song, you can call us on 011 883 0702. My way or the highway. What's that one thing in your car you absolutely won't compromise on, no matter who gets in? Your seat position? Your radio presets? Your stations? Volume levels? Air conditioning? Your mirrors? Give us a call now on 011 883 0702. 5,000 Rand in fuel vouchers up for grabs, all thanks to My Way Insurance.
I'm Samela Kelpoy, an actress and a mum. Do you know what's in your cupboard? I've been trying to be intentional about the food I buy and keep in my cupboard. Unhealthy packaged foods can lead to hypertension, heart disease, and diabetes. Support front-of-package warning labels on unhealthy packaged foods, high in saturated fat, sugar, and salt. Join me. Sign the petition on healer.org. That's HEALA.org.
We could tell you we are the best bank in Africa, but if you're a CEO or CFO looking to grow, you're probably more interested in the numbers, like the fact that our systems process $9 trillion every year. That's around 45 times the value of all intra-Africa trade, and that our custody network safeguards 17.7 trillion rand in assets. Those are big numbers, and a big reason to grow with us. Standard Bank Corporate and Investment Banking. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
It's that time of the year. Sore throats, congestion, wet and dry coughs, pain and fever. For trusted relief for you and your family, ask your pharmacist to recommend a winter survival pack from the Adcock Ingram OTC range. With products like Medikeel A, Expigen, Corenza Paracy, Adconapamol, Dilinct Junior and more, we have you covered this winter. Remember, Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
Save up to 40, yeah. Anyway, insurance, easy way.
But one thing you absolutely won't compromise on. TK in the Val, what is the one thing you won't compromise on?
Greetings, my brother. One thing I won't compromise on is when somebody wants to sit in the back seat whilst it's only the two of us driving. And then, yes, and then also somebody that puts their fingerprints on my windows. That is just terrible. And then the final one is somebody that wants to smoke in my car. I'm not even a smoker, but they want to smoke. That's a problem. So
TK,
definite no.
I love your
Yes.
perm, but not on my window. Hold the line. Let's see who else can compete with you. Elias, you're in Bracken Downs. What won't you compromise on in your car?
Morning, Bongani. What I won't compromise in my car is if I have somebody in my car on my way, I don't want anybody controlling my windows, turning them down or up. I like to drive with my windows closed. And if you'd like the windows open, you need to ask. It's a courtesy thing.
All right, it's a courtesy thing, says Elias. Sanele, you're in Vereniging. What's your no compromise in your car?
Hi, Bongs. Definitely my seat position. Look, I'm a bit tall, so whoever's prepared to sit behind me has to make another plan. I do not compromise when it comes to my seat position. I'm sorry. It's either you take it or you take the taxi.
All right. Sadele is in Vereniging. Mandisa in Vlakfontein. Your no compromise. Hello. Go ahead, Mandisa.
Hi, Bongani. What I don't compromise on is listening to 702. My radio is constantly on 702. Even my kids know the jingle by now.
You're such a charmer, Mandisa. You know I can't say no to that. You know I can't say no to that. Mandisa, you walk away with 5,000 Rand in fuel vouchers. All thanks to My Way Insurance, who've been giving away those, of course, all week. And in these desolate times, Mandisa walks away with that fuel voucher worth 5,000 Rand. Thanks to My Way Insurance. Live your way.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Uzundibeleke xandisiwa undibopha manxeba xandisopha undithwalise ndakusindwa ngobulithemba lam uzundibeleke xandisiwa undibopha manxeba xandisopha undithwalise ndakusindwa ngobulithemba.
Oh, man. Oh. If you are not a speaker of isiXhosa, let me just translate what you just listened to there. Carry me if I should fall. Bind my wounds if I should bleed. Help me carry should the load grow too heavy. because in you, I trust. I thought she was coming in studio, but she's talking to us all the way from Cape Town. Nomfundo Xaluva, one of my favorite singers performing in South Africa at the moment. A great pleasure to have you on the show. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Bongani, and to the 702 listeners. Such a pleasure. I wish I was in studio, by the way.
I do wish you were here too, because I've said to everyone who will hear it, should I ever be doof enough to walk down the aisle again, you would be there to sing that song that I just played.
I'm not sure how to feel about the prefacing there about doof, but okay. So I'm potentially speaking to a client right now. We stay hopeful.
Possibly.
Hopeful.
So listen, we're talking to you, of course, because of your new work, Ndilapa, and you're going to be doing live at the Basement. You blend jazz, African sounds, deeply personal narratives, but also just an incredible ability as a vocalist and as a performer. It's such a rich cocktail for a fantastic evening.
It's going to be fantastic. I'm really happy to be coming back to the Basement. I did my debut there last year in August. And so to really present this music once again, and not only that, but to sell it out within 2 days on the first date, forcing us to basically do a second date is just an honor and a privilege that people resonate with this repertoire, and the stories of this new album. I can't wait. And the funny thing is that people sing those songs back to me. So I can already imagine what the Untitled Basement is going to be like.
I mean, what is that like as a performer to know that your music is so deeply resonant with your audience when they sing those songs to you and you know what meaning they carry for them?
I mean, it's a feeling one cannot really put into words, right? Because that old saying that we create the art and then we surrender it. And to stand on stage and to have people sing the music back is a testament of really being in alignment with the gift. That the music is not just yours, but it's serving its greater purpose.
And
absolutely, and it resonates with people.
An Untitled Basement as an intimate venue is the perfect setting, is it not?
Absolutely perfect, because it's right in your face. There's nowhere to escape. There's no big stage where you're running around and you can hide behind. The people are in your face. It's really it's intense, singing into people's eyes and people singing back into yours. It's incredible.
And of course, you've only got 2 dates, Thursday the 18th of June and Friday the 19th of June. So these are already sold out, are they?
The first night is already sold out. The second night is selling out pretty quickly.
Will you consider a third date?
No, not at the same week. Yo, Jonga kubani ngamathemba.
All right, so the first night already sold out. This is 18th of June, Friday the 19th of June. It's going to be an intimate evening with one of the best voices you can hear performing in South Africa today. I want to ask you some questions. As quickly as you can, please answer. Which is harder, writing or performing?
Performing.
Do you create music from pain or joy?
Both.
If you weren't a musician, what would you be?
A doctor.
What's your go-to comfort food?
Sushi.
Stage performance or studio recording?
Stage, any day.
First album you ever bought?
Live at the Market Theatre, Sibongile Kumar.
I was there. I was in the audience. When you hear those hands clapping, yes. She just won the Standard Bank Young Artist of the Year award. I was there. Absolutely fantastic. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Sneakers or heels?
Sneakers.
Should I call you or should I text you?
Okay. Text me.
Head or heart?
Heart.
I'd say a little bit of head as well. I mean, you've studied this music. You've also got, I think, a master's in not only music, but you've also got a one in business administration. You're looking at the full picture of being an artist in modern times, hey?
I am really living, the kind of career that I'd always envisioned for myself, that intersection between art and business. So I'm very happy.
Listen, we are happy you are performing and you've shared your gift so generously with us. If you're still need tickets, you can only really get them for the Friday. It's happening at Untitled Basement, the 18th and 19th of June. Nomfundo Xaluva Ndilapha live. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great weekend.
All right, Nomfundo Xaluva there talking to us from Cape Town. I lied. I said she was in studio, and I found out that she's in Cape Town, but she will be in Johannesburg coming up.
702 podcasts are on 702.co.za.
And on that note, we'll leave it because the Clement Manyatela Show starts now.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Police have confirmed that Major General Richard Shibiri has been fired. Shibiri was suspended last year in connection with allegations of criminal infiltration into the justice system following his testimony before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Shibiri admitted to receiving a 70,000 rand loan from alleged